I would recommend it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just a couple of things here and there, but you kind of just discuss with the players and everybody decides. Yeah.
How many have you got?
So I've got a small little group of 4 people.
That's a good
Because
size.
that's kind of what I can manage.
Yeah, 4's a good size.
That's us live.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We switched over in the middle of that conversation, unfortunately. So we are up to session 41 for the Tuesday group with a new play today. So I'll get the new person to introduce herself and her character. So we have Kathy.
My name's Kathy. I've got my character who's Olga Sharkfin, and she is a human barbarian from the Heldanic region.
Anything special you wanted to tell us about your character?
Not yet.
Okay, we'll find out as we play.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Big X-Wacky stuff.
Very good at asking a question, I'm sure. So,
Fair.
Stefan.
Hello, I'm Stefan and I'm playing Tidal Rift. He is a water genasi monk and has a interesting friendship with Drazzle and let's just say a peculiar fear of curtains.
Curtains really does become his bane. Okay, so next person up we have online is Ethan, which I need to fix to say he's actually here.
Yep. Hey, I'm playing Xander Stormcaster, who's an Air Genasi wizard war mage. Yeah, just
He's totally not in
bunch of
trouble
my
with
spells.
his clan.
Yeah, totally not in trouble. Slash, anything's going on. Yeah, it's all good. We're good.
Yeah, you just keep looking behind corridors, looking down corridors
Yeah.
and behind doors.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
I'm not,
And next person up.
You missed a session or two, didn't we tell you some of the docs?
I think I've been, yeah, I don't know.
Did you watch the last session?
I have not yet.
Then we can't help you. Okay, so next person up is Jeremy.
Yes, good evening all. Jeremy playing Penadier, the Atruaghin ex-lawman, now lawkeeper, as he attempts to take on the role of shaman of the clans.
I thought you were given that role already.
Well, he sort of gave the role and then left.
Oh,
well,
Attempts to fill the role, effectively.
So he's shaman of the clans while not being with the clans.
right.
That's sort of like saying I'm the voice of the people without the people being around you.
Right.
Well, there's also the fact that it's not like he's a very good shaman, so...
Yeah, well, by the time you get good and by the time we get back, not only will you be a shaman, you'll also be older than everyone else.
I'm already older than everybody else.
He is already older than everyone else.
Yeah,
That's the
even
main
the
reason
really
I
old
become
ones.
shaman.
Yeah, I know, but even the really old ones, like the ones that actually have white hair, which I'm presuming there are at least a couple.
Yes, but that happens in their 40s in their group.
I know. Still rare.
Yeah, the Atruaghins rarely live past the age of 30.
Oh, okay.
So 25 is considered old age for them.
And just for reference, Penadier's, well, he's experienced 28 years. Although it's been nearly 32, approaching 32 years since he was born.
We had a 4-year.
An accidental time frame mishap.
Yeah, so this setting literally plays with the elements, and time is one of those elements.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, we got time trapped.
For 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not bitter at all.
We didn't know at the time.
Well, I didn't notice very much.
That's right. Okay.
Apparently I had a wife in charge during that time.
Yes. Yeah. So he woke up and suddenly he has a toddler.
And she's wandering around the world without him. He's
Yep.
never met her yet.
Yep.
You got a wife.
Apparently
guy.
clans can place their lawmen if they disappear for 3 years.
That's okay. Drazzle's met them, so Drazzle didn't get trapped with them. There is a thing about him, he always seems to avoid the traps.
Maybe he sets them.
Probably. He doesn't tell us about them
It's
first.
not beyond him.
Oh, he's
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Thank you.
Keeps the table alive.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Drazzle exists to allow Martin to marry Sue.
Yeah, but if Praed is ancient, then Drazzle must be prehistoric.
Yeah.
Well, considering
What do we know about Clue?
they don't actually know how old Dragonborn lived for.
Yeah.
Because he's there first.
Right, true.
Okay, so next one up we have is Paul.
Quill is a spellcaster of the warlock type, backup healer, or main healer if we don't have a cleric on hand.
You're a cleric, aren't you?
Only healer.
Well, that divine magic, pretty sure you're a cleric.
Okay, in some places I'm a cleric, in some places I'm a wizard.
Far as title's concerned, you're a cleric still.
But not in Glantry, he's not.
Not in Glantry, I'm a warlock right here.
That's right.
He still prays to a
Sorry.
god for assistance.
Sorry, not a warlock. In Glantry, I'm a wizard.
No, that's a bit too far. Hang on, take it a step back.
Yeah. I'm also a diplomat. Because I use charisma for my spells. So I get to talk to people and be persuasive.
Persuasive.
And
Oops.
occasionally
And let's face it, it's to our advantage as long as he can keep up the pretense of being a wizard, since he's the one that's technically allowed us to be there.
Well, he's also been given the
When certain other wizards in the party disappeared.
well, he's been given the ambassadorial leeway. While he doesn't have diplomatic immunity, he has the diplomatically embarrassment side of things. So it would be embarrassing to Darkin if you die. They'll probably just pay a tithe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I get
Like they do for the goblins.
So I
Very
get
much
some of
so.
the usefulness of being a diplomat and all of the responsibility of as long as I don't actually heal somebody in public, I can keep this up.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure they're already putting together the tithe.
Oh, quite probably. Well, not tithe, the weird deal.
So, in the story, last we had it, they came to this country because their benefactor, known as Red Darien, had asked them to look into the death of a student at the Great School of Magic. He showed up in the canals, and apparently he'd been under investigation for quite a while, and his body only showed up dead 2 days ago, though they think he died older, for longer ago, but he'd been under investigation as a spy before that. And the people who were investigating him got killed. The people who found the body and were investigating the death got killed. And now they decided that they'll go for outside forces to finish the investigation, which was where Red Darien was contacted, and will be where your character will come in from, because Red Darien does hire people from all over the world. So they all have various ways of dropping in. Okay, so we'll start off with where we finished off last session. You had just met with a fire, earth, and darkness monk who were patrolling the halls of the Great School. So these are monks who specialise in the elements. They never actually saw the darkness monk; they just heard him.
He was basically a shadow
around.
in a slightly shadowy corridor. So yeah, he was functionally invisible.
Yes. But they did hear him, so he didn't quite do his stealth check well.
Not really. If you can still hear a rogue, then I think he's doing something wrong.
He was talking at the time.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fair.
Okay, he didn't necessarily fail his stealth check, he just gave up.
He could just
Yeah,
pretend he was a ghost.
he gave it up. The first time we knew there was anything there is when he spoke.
Yeah. So quite successful. That their first thing was, how long was he there for?
Yeah, okay. Pays off.
Okay, so then you decided you would head out into the city.
Yes, having discovered that, so we got called by the hall monitors because someone decided to remove some books from the room that we were investigating that shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we worked out that we'll have to actually go and get some other equipment before removing those books.
And then after that point in time, we'll jump over to our Air Genasi, Xandar, who was off talking to his prince. You there, Ethan?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, the prince had nothing to say. Cough, cough.
Okay, so while you were when you finished talking to your prince, apparently another message came for you.
Oh, okay. That's great. I love talking to my prince, who can always.
It's probably
hear me
spam
and
from
give me
upper
all
management.
Great.
Well, that's okay. I'm sure your prince listens in to every baited word you make and then falls asleep.
Yep, I know. Not concerning in the slightest. Anyway, yeah, what was the message?
It's that Rendarian was asking you to get in contact with him.
Oh, okay. Well, I've already made contact, but sure.
Did we?
You may have more news.
No.
Or more
Okay.
bills?
Well, I'll have to go back to the school to go make contact with him again.
You hadn't actually left the school.
Oh, I
Did-
thought we.
Just
Okay.
enough area.
We just used the star.
The others hadn't actually left the school at this stage. They were still heading towards the exit. They were hoping to get out rather quickly after the ruckus they caused. But
Yeah, okay.
they were
Well,
there long
I'll
enough
see.
for you to have multiple conversations before they arrived.
Well, okay.
Oh, I understand. We did some other investigating bits and pieces.
Which they can
Yeah.
tell you all about when you catch up with them.
Oh, maybe.
Lovely.
Okay, so how do you get in contact with Rendarian?
I will have to go into that where I contacted before in terms of going into that little side room thingy.
Yep.
that He's got a. Oh god, if I can remember what it is. It's like a little side room that I can touch something and instantly talk to him.
Yep.
You mean the staff?
Yeah, I thought it was only a one-time thing, but apparently not.
No, you can actually use the staff more than once.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
It's not a
So,
one-use item.
Sorry, Title thought you would have caught the hang of that by now, but
He is a air genasi after all, so you got to give people leeway.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll touch the staff to talk to him.
Okay, so you connect with Rendarian. Rendarian is appreciative of you getting back in touch with him. He's sorry he had to send a message to you via the school because he knows how busy you are.
Well, how many times you didn't answer?
Or how long it took you to answer.
Yeah, it's just a mischief with the other investigators. Anyway.
And with that in mind, he's actually sending another investigator along.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants you to look after them.
Great.
Because, well,
Great.
you're the official spellcaster of the region, so apparently you're also the official babysitter.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, after what happened with that airship, let's just not talk about that.
Oh, they're coming by air too, so don't worry about that. I'm sure we'll all be fine.
Yeah, the headmaster was fine. It was cool.
Yeah, the headmaster was fine.
Just sweep
We,
under the
on the
rug.
other
It's
hand.
all good.
Oh,
Anyway.
don't worry. I'm sure your family's getting sent the bill.
Yeah, that's okay. AKA the prince.
You won't mind, I'm sure.
Yeah, he won't mind.
Well, they'd never be so ugly as to do it in person.
Yeah.
No, send a flunky to do it. Far better.
Okay, so with that in mind, you then hear a screech of dragons out the window.
Okay.
I'll peek my head out and just hope to God it's not Drazzle.
No, it is.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It is five. It was 5 medium-sized black dragons pulling a longship through the air.
Oh. Wow.
As
Why
it's
couldn't we take that?
as it's circling the tower to come in for landing.
Because we couldn't afford it?
Because
And you can see that there's about 4 or 5 Vikings in the back. One of them just whipping at the dragons to tell them what to do.
See, that's how I want to travel, not the frickin' gnomes again. Jeez.
What? You don't like the idea of whipping gnomes to make them go faster?
I mean, I had to frickin' create air for them to breathe to land the ship. I mean,
Well, yeah. The gnomes
eventually,
whip that.
but you can't whip them to make them go faster. They don't know what they're doing half the time.
Hey, whether you gave them air or not, the ship would still have landed.
That's true. But if you whip them, it makes you feel so much better.
Yeah, well,
Just how good it landed was dependent on how much you helped them.
exactly.
And they say any landing you walk away from is a good landing when a gnome's concerned.
That's true.
Alright, so I'm guessing I'll have to clear them to actually land using my telling the schools that they can land in actually the.
Yeah.
Well, by the looks of things, they're not asking permission.
No,
Well,
they're-
I'll let the guard know anyway, just so they don't actually do anything.
yes. Give them permission. They're going to take it anyway. You might as well make it official.
Better
I'll
to say
say-
sorry than to ask for
You're
permission.
taking responsibility.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I've already
the Norse
taken
never say
responsibility
sorry.
for all of you.
They
while
just-
we're at the
Yeah,
city.
true.
So, you had a problem with it? Why didn't you say something? That's your problem.
No.
Sounds like a you problem.
So, yeah, essentially, everyone.
So,
I'm sure
as you go up to the
fine.
guards, you see that the guards are all staring out there and saying, this is your fault, isn't it?
Yep, pretty much.
Say yes.
Your problem, you deal with it. We're going nowhere near them again. Not this time.
I know.
Again, what happened last time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you can hear them calling the guards back from the gate, saying that Xandar's dealing with it.
Yep. It's all good. Clear the courtyard so they can land.
Oh, they all look at you in horror. Not inside the keep again. No, not inside. No inside.
Fine. Outside the keep in the oval or something.
Yes, less deaths this time. Less deaths.
Oh, wait, there was death last time?
You were busy studying. You weren't paying attention.
Well,
As usual, these air genasi. Head in the clouds, never in the moment.
Should have been a water genasi.
Okay, so rushing down to the gate, you see that That should be fire, Paul.
Fire?
Yeah.
Just checking. Yep.
So, reaching the gate, you see that the 5 dragons are quite happily splashing in the water. They seem to be chasing what appears to be a water elemental that keeps the water running.
That poor water elemental. Go and rescue it. Go on.
He's
Lead
got a
back to
choice:
the
either
dragons.
rescue the water elemental or make this a successful landing. So
And the
Funny problem.
longboat is just bouncing along near the walkway as they're trying to stop the dragons going too far underwater and dragging them under.
Ah, well, controlling their own dragons is their problem.
Exactly. It's not my problem. My problem is just the person who gets out.
Okay, so welcome. Your uncle says, "Welcome to Galantry." There it is. Now I'm going before they charge me the usual fee.
Yes.
Don't worry, that's your problem, he says as he shoves you off.
Awesome. I try and gracefully catch myself before I land.
Okay, give me a dexterity check.
Alright, so that's 11.
Okay, so you land on Xander
Yep.
quite gracefully. Both of you go down. I'm sure that was graceful too.
It was not gracefully. I'm just trying to stare in there in disbelief, and then I get landed on.
Yep, by someone taller than you.
Oh, what
Yep.
was that? Hello.
Hi. That's a. Ironically, you actually got the breath out of me. That's new. Yeah. Hi. Apparently, you're now my responsibility.
I step off him and I go, oh, you must be Xander, right?
Yep.
I've heard you
Yeah.
require my assistance.
Yeah. That's not. I was just told that you were coming. Like that's about all I know. See, technically, I'm not the lead investigator. I'm just a babysitter for everyone since we're in the city. So
Babysitter?
I suggest we go speak to our lovely diplomat who gets himself.
At which point, 3 of them come running out the front door of the School of Magic and right into the 2 of you.
oh, the rest of us.
Yeah.
We weren't running.
Okay, moving rapidly while looking over your shoulder to avoid being chased.
Attracts attention.
Yes.
The devil. There we go.
We're moving briskly. We're not
Trazel's still not here, is he?
Right, he's somewhere in the city.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's been here before.
Yes, running is for people who are running away from something. Moving briskly is for people who are moving towards something. We want to be the latter.
So you do see, give me a perception roll for title.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep, there's well done, sir.
That's a 15.
Okay, you see that the dragons, as they were trying to pull the boat off, just go off to the side and seem to sit in the water and just look up at Druzzle, who's sitting there cross-legged looking at them and talking to them.
Does Drazzle seem to know all of them?
He's just talking at them.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
They seem to be talking back at him.
I'm probably going to be distracted just watching this.
And you sort of see that guy's just trying to whip the dragons to keep going and they're just ignoring him completely.
I'm just going to laugh at the guy whipping the dragons.
Well, dragons generally don't get hurt by whips.
True.
No,
what he gets for
having
shoving me
scales
off the
makes a big
boat.
difference.
Are they speaking Draconic?
Yes, they are.
I'm not going to call out to Drazzle though because,
Is
you
it
know...
within earshot of Henadier?
Give me a perception roll.
I don't want to piss off the 5 dragons.
18.
Okay, you hear snippets, and the snippets that you seem to be hearing seems to be a ritualistic greeting among equals.
Okay.
It's not something you have heard from dragons and non-dragons.
No, they can't. So, haven't necessarily had a lot to do with dragons or dragon kind except for Drazzle. And I say the dragon kind we have come across other than Drazzle. Drazzle has certainly been a bit special, so.
Yes.
That was almost a compliment.
It was.
Almost.
If you want to interpret it that way, okay.
Okay, so what would you guys like to do now? You are in the city. You have many options.
I would like to talk to Xander and say, can you catch me up with what exactly I am doing here and what we need to achieve by the end of the day? Go.
Your time starts.
I like that.
I just saw an exploration of that. Alright, so essentially.
Well, no, you've got heaps of time. You've got to catch you up by the end of the day.
I don't know.
Yeah, true, technically. So essentially, we've come here to the Wizard School to investigate the death of a student who was found in the canal about 2 days ago. Pretty much everyone who's investigated this prior to us has died mysteriously.
Only a small thing.
Including someone dying by magic in a room that's protected by all sorts of magic, so it makes sense.
I didn't think it was
And also the people who found the body are also dead. The student was also apparently a spy, so that's fun. And so we're just trying to figure out who he was, whilst also trying to avoid too much suspicion, otherwise we're all going to die. Does that sum it up? We're good?
Right.
Benedict will be encouraging the idea, well, if we're going to actually have a discussion like that, then we want to find somewhere more private and...
Yeah, then away out in the open.
Okay, so currently you're standing. If you can, I will change the screen so you can actually see the not that one, not that one, no, that one. There we go. So if you can see where the hourglass is over the red circle. So I'll move it around so you can see it.
Yeah.
You're currently in that area there. Because that there is the Great School of Magic, and this is the best area for a dragon to land and still take off.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And you'd see Drazzle sitting somewhere over here for some reason.
For Drazzle reasons.
Just, yeah.
Just
We don't
Drazzle
question the
reasons.
Drazzle.
So what is your next plan of action? Do you have one?
We're going, well, I look behind and I'm like, so
Okay.
did you guys take something from the school?
Well, technically no.
Technically.
Anyway, well, our next
Actually-
point of action
actually,
was
no.
supposed to be
Yeah. What we actually did
Was
is
it-
not take anything that is the school's.
That's right.
Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, never mind. And I'll just nod and keep walking. I'm like, okay, so we're supposed to be going to an inn that's safe,
Yes. Do that.
so we can kind of establish a base
So
of operations.
that's the main
in
area
city.
where you're in.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in private when we get there.
Yes.
Understood.
Yeah.
So amusingly, Drazzle's at the Silver Tower Inn, which you had decided not to stay at. And he's right next to the haunted house, so I'm sure that would be a great place to visit.
Oh, he can cleanse that, he's fine.
Okay, so you are probably going to head towards business quarter. None of those are the decent places to stay.
Did we pay for a decent place?
No, you didn't. You decided to go to a different one. So the Water Tower Inn, number 37, would most likely be the place you stay at. Because it has a lot of interesting stuff there.
Sounds familiar.
And so it basically costs you 20 gold a night per person.
Oh,
Ooh.
It's not a cheap place.
no, it's not.
Hey, it's a lot better than 350 per night.
Yeah. Well,
Which was the other one?
So Water Tower Inn, do they have like a downstairs like bar eating area?
They do. And they also guarantee privacy.
Okay, I'm gonna try and negotiate because I only have 10 gold. If I could try and be their bouncer to take care of drunk people.
Technically, as part of Rendarian's group, you'll also have access to about, was it
1,000 or something?
about 5,000, I think
Or
it is.
5,000, okay.
Oh.
Like 5,000 gold that you can draw
Yeah,
upon to
yeah,
pay
it
for
is
stuff.
quite
No,
a lot.
as for you personally.
Oh,
To
okay.
pay
Yeah,
expenses.
yours.
Right, I'm
So-
just gonna write that down so I don't have to
Yeah.
negotiate.
Or we had one came, but it's been increased.
Well, the point was that we could
No,
have
we-
1,000 or something per...
Yeah.
We actually had to go to the bank to actually go and get
Yes.
the gold, so that was
Yeah, we were
that
given,
was
what,
why we were
1,000 each
gonna-
person, and 4,000 was in the bank.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you'd have at least
So,
1,000
how much-
on you.
Okay, awesome. I can pay that then.
Okay, so
Well, okay. While we are travelling to there,
Yeah.
So while you're travelling to there, you see
Edward will
5 black
frequently
dragons
introduce
fly off in different
himself
directions.
To
You're gonna laugh
Olga, and
Yes.
If they're going in different directions, how's the ship take off?
There's no ship.
Reggie fly you as well.
Well, that explains that.
And then they circle and head north. Apparently taunting the city in Draconic from above.
So where's the rest of the crew?
Probably looking at what remains of their ship.
We have tourists.
Glad I got off
Yeah,
that
well,
ship by in time.
Yeah. Well, at least they're also not Xander's problem yet.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
quickly
yeah,
walked
that's
away
the
so
key
they don't
word.
become my problem.
Yes. Perfectly reasonable.
Well, if they landed in the Great School, they would have been your problem.
But they didn't, so they're not.
So if I ask Drazzle to ask them to land in the great school, no, I wouldn't do that.
Or certainly, if not your problem, certainly your fault.
Nope. Nope.
Okay, so you end up at the Water Tower Inn. This place is quite nice, and they do have a lot of interesting meals going. It is a place to be seen by a lot of locals, so they'll come here to eat if they can afford it.
Yep,
Which most of them
right.
can't. But when you
I'm good for being looked at. So.
and most people can't afford to spend the 5 gold a meal.
That's fine.
Well, I said most people. Considering 1 gold is more than most of them will make in a year
Doesn't-
as profit.
Thank you.
As profit, yes.
Yeah.
I might go wash my hands. Do you know where the bathroom is?
Bathroom is on the other side of that wall.
Oh,
There should be a
sorry.
light on in there still, unless it's been turned off.
It might have been. So it should just be on.
Do I get a discount since I'm actually a citizen?
No, but you get admitted straight away without them asking who you are.
That's good. That means that was my second question.
So you're our pass. Well, actually,
Yeah.
you can pass it because these guys are mine. Because
Yeah.
I've got a letter. You don't need the letter. That's the thing.
So the reason you don't get a discount is you actually get you're allowed to walk in. You don't actually have a noble title, so that doesn't entitle you to a discount.
No.
Nah, it's fine.
You still got to sit those tests.
I actually find it amusing that the rich people who don't have to actually worry about money are the ones who get a discount.
Yep.
Yeah.
But-
normal and natural.
Isn't that how it works
Always
in
the way.
our society at the moment?
It's how it works in most places
Uh-huh.
where the rich are allowed to get away with things.
Except in Darrakan. Darrakan actually lets the people with wealth pay more. Because
Yeah.
they run it. They want the economy to flow.
Well,
They don't
one
want
of the
people to
things-
hoard it.
Yeah, one of the things with Darrakan is, yes, everything costs. However, you always get what you pay for, and you pay for what you get.
Yep.
Um,
And when a merchant prince pays for something, he wants it to be to his specifications. So he pays extra.
the other thing is, he also wants to be known for paying for what he's getting. So he'll pay full fare every time.
Yep. Okay, so as you're sitting down and relaxing, they you do feel wards come up around your booth
Yep.
because
Yeah.
this is what they do here.
It's Glantry. It is ridiculously magical.
Hey, these might like the ones that we accidentally tripped earlier.
Yeah, except these weren't actually
And you can't hear anything from outside the booth now.
nice.
What happened
So,
to the noise?
It's been
Kind
what?
of nullifies it in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
It's
okay.
been-
We can
it's
actually
been
talk here
locked
without whispering.
It's been locked for both privacy and ease of listening.
And you can see off to the side 2 people arguing and shouting and really going to fisticuffs, and not a sound of it comes through.
Not a sound.
You
Kennedy
see,
will
but that's a
actually
conversation
step
I'd
out
like
of
to
the
be
booth
in.
again, just to confirm that there's nothing audible inside.
You don't hear anything at all inside except for the hum from the wards. The wards do give off noise.
Yep.
So to fill our dearest elf, not elf.
Do you really like Lowell that well, do you?
No, our dearest Air Janazi Inn.
I bet my eyes.
Sorry, I can't tell the difference. You're both flowery.
No, not in agreement.
We ended up removing books from some. Well, apparently, Lowell removed some books, but I didn't see anything. It was a freaking window as far as I was concerned. But apparently, he picked up some books and removed them, and when he left the door, alarms went off, so we put them back. And then we had to distract the guards. So
you put them all back.
yeah, so we're fine.
Yes, they've not been stolen at all,
Exactly.
Okay.
or even borrowed.
Or even some pages.
Nope.
Nope.
Not
Okay,
correct.
I'm gonna colour me impressed.
Seems like a bit of a waste, though. You're already distracting the guards. You might as well try and take a couple of the books with you.
Well-
the problem is the alarm that went off was a magical one, and was going to continue as long as we held the books outside that room.
These magic types.
Yeah.
Never
Yes.
understand them.
Well, it's Glantry. If it's not magical, it's unusual.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, this is a city of magic. This is also why anyone who is not a wizard and has actually done all the tests and stuff are not a citizen and don't have any rights. This is why you're all under my protection while we're in the city.
Yes.
I don't feel much safer.
There's when you're talking, there's a flashing on the wall next to you, and you hear an alarm, and someone say, "Is there someone by the name of Tidal? Please come to reception."
Why did they know my name?
I guess it's Dressel.
I didn't register here. Why do they know my name?
Well,
Magic.
actually, we're all registered here because you're all under me, so
Oh, thanks
otherwise
for
you would
that.
not be allowed let in.
Either
Okay.
that or they're tracking your license.
It's probably an adoring fan or something, again.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess I'll go
usual.
sign something. Okay,
Well,
I'll be
so
back.
If it's Drazzle,
Well, if it's Drowse, it's okay then. I'll go see who it is.
Okay, walking up to the front, there is someone with lots of shred marks down the front of their clothing, and Drazzle standing there politely.
Yeah.
Next to them?
In front of them, looking down at them.
Drazzle, what's going on?
Said you were here. Said I couldn't pass.
You can't pass. Why not?
Said I couldn't pass.
What's
I said I could. He said I couldn't, so I showed him I could. And he got upset.
Ah, I get it.
I'll-
Okay.
I'll come out
Why?
with
Why?
Tidal and
I'll turn to
say,
the other
"Turn it
person
off."
and ask him why he's not letting my friend.
He's
through.
not this, he says, as dripping blood.
Drazzle doesn't have his own
Ah,
license. That's just to get away
Give me
without.
1 moment. Stay here, Drazzle. Please don't move. Don't touch anything. Just stay here. Please.
No eating the staff.
He goes and sits down on one of the benches. You hear it break.
Oh.
Eh,
There we go.
we'll just build
I'll,
up to the edge, Nazi. I'm gonna go back in and poke my head in and say,
Air guy?
Air guy, because I can't remember your name right now. Drazzle's here, and we need you to register him so he can get in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's gonna get kicked out. Well,
I feel like
rather
I
the
have a
guard's gonna
sixth
get
sense
kicked
of
out, and Drazzle will be fine, but that'll be bad for us.
Alright, I'll go out and tell them that Drazzle's with us.
Okay, give me a perception roll when you come out.
Okay. Perception. B26. 17.
Okay, the first thing you notice when you come out, besides the blood on the ground and on the guy, is the magical register where you signed everyone in. Someone broke it.
Oh. Well,
It's like they ripped it in half. You didn't think that was possible.
I'm just gonna look and say and ask the register, said Drazzle, and then just ask and say the dragon.
He just points and looks very pale.
Yep.
You can see he's got a bite mark on his hand. Drazzle's currently playing with one of the magical quills used to sign people's names in.
Yep.
He's cleaning his teeth.
I'll go up and be like, Drazzle, can you please give that back to me? You're with us. Just don't.
Okay, he hands it back to you. You can see there's clumps of flesh on the end of the quill.
oh, you gosh.
That's impressive.
Alright. Okay, Drazzle, come with us. We'll go to the booth. No more eating, dismembering, or anything, please.
Says,
Not yet.
I didn't start. They start. I finish.
I know. It's
They
okay.
start. I finish.
And you finish well, Drazzle.
I just.
Well, he gets
flinch
along with a lot
and
of
just,
people.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep walking after I hear that.
That sounds like a good thing to do.
Okay. He pats you on the back quite heartily.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't knock you off your feet, but you sort of feel it. And he comes in and sits with everyone. They feel the booth bounce a little bit as he sits down.
That's fine. I'll give Drazzle a bit of a
My eyes
side
are gonna
hug.
light up. So you seem like something I'm gonna go along with.
You look great. I like your place.
Thank you. What was your name?
Drazzle.
Nice to meet you. My name is Olga.
Olga sound nice.
Thank you. I
Can we
like
beat
that.
things up together?
Yes, definitely.
You'll like Drazzle. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, if you need healing, ask him for a hug. That's just how it is.
He's very
Oh,
direct,
friendly.
Mm.
and he's very friendly, and he makes a mess of things when he gets close to them, and he doesn't like them.
Isn't that just anybody though?
No, Drazzle, special exception. Drazzle makes people disappear. Isn't that right, Drazzle?
You want to disappear, Drazzle says?
With the
No.
help of the dragon and
So why am
No.
I here when you have a dragon?
Well, he kind
I
of...
watch and observe,
There you
Right.
go.
he says. Learnt new word, observe.
He's like a chronicler, kind of.
He opens a book, you don't know where the book was because it doesn't seem to carry backpacks anymore. And then you just
Out
start,
of
the
the
quill
paper.
which he gave Xandar, he's got in his hand again and he's now writing with.
He tends to write down a lot of things. Half the stuff that goes in there I don't want to know, but...
Yeah, no, it's just
That's one way to learn.
Yeah, well, he's written novels and books and lots of things, so that's a thing.
And give me a perception roll if you're glancing at what he's writing again.
Oh god, it better not be the second book. Nope, I have no idea. That's a 5.
You happily no idea what's going on in his book.
Cool.
Was anyone else trying to have a look at a glance at what he was doing or
I'd like to try and have a look. So that's 18.
18? Okay, so having a look, he seems to be noting information about the ward's defences and military support of the city. Even seems to have descriptiveness of the preparedness of the troops, time it takes them to investigate and things like that.
that would be.
That seems like something a spy would want to know, doesn't it?
Well, he's been doing that everywhere. That's why he doesn't want to know.
And somewhere in between all these, he managed to write a book about me.
Yes.
Drazzle, you are very talented.
Basil just nods and smiles. Big teeth. A little bit of flesh red. Book.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, well,
little
he
bit
cleaned
enough
most
to
of
make
it
a
out.
big bang. Yeah.
He doesn't do subtle at all.
Well, that's where all the fun comes in.
That's true. 'Cause
Where'd you leave the caravan, Drazzle?
Caravan coming
Wait, what? Where?
from Darrakan City, where we left it.
How?
Horse knows where I am.
Oh dear.
How long is it gonna take?
Not worried. Caravan will arrive when it's needed.
Of course.
Do you want to warn like the magic school ahead of time? Because I'm just imagining this thing crashing through a wall at some point, going hi.
That's not my concern.
Yeah, but you're Mr. Chief here, so
And you bring this up, you express your concern after we've already smashed a gnome airship and a dragonborn.
No.
No, they did
Dragon's
that themselves.
Yeah.
and that was
Dragon's
getting
fine.
here.
And that wasn't even on the property, so it's all good. We're fine in that respect. The other things, yeah, we're a bit
This
questionable,
could
but
involve
okay.
damaging property here, so that's more important.
Okay, I will let the inn know that a horse and a carriage may appear and come through a wall at some stage.
They just look at you. We're in the middle of water. How can a horse and carriage get here?
I'll just look at Drazzle and like, see that guy? You know the guy that just broke all the magical stuff? It's his
Yeah.
carriage.
Okay,
So,
and he calls it management calling in sick, and he leaves.
You could have suggested they make sure there's a gate open.
There's no gate. I don't think you realise it's going to come through a wall.
I don't think they even have stable hands here.
Yep.
So, just so you know, Paul, where you can see
Yeah.
that finger, that little tower in the middle of all that water, is where they are.
It's in the middle of water.
Yep.
There.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's a waterway.
Okay.
But hey, it'll be interesting if it does show up here.
That's very true.
It is technically about a week or two's travel to get here.
It should be. It should take a little while yet.
Good.
Don't worry, you have probably about 10 to 12 days for it to show up.
Wouldn't surprise you if it just
It's
submerges
not
from the water
reassuring.
and just climbs up the tower. It's like, okay.
Don't worry, it's only going to pass through a whole bunch of Darrican towns before it reaches here.
Poor bastards.
That wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't for... Oh, I hope the back is locked.
You know the lock
Well-
doesn't stay on.
There is the thing though that thing's never going to stop. No one's going to try and get into it except people that deserve it.
Oh, like those guards that deserved it.
Well, yeah, but
Your version of
hopefully
deserving
not
is very interesting.
well. Sorry, it's. I was expecting it to be things like bandits, but yes, if guards do it, well, oops, sorry.
The last time we had 12 people go in there, we had someone else come out who was one of our friends, so I'm somewhat concerned what's going to happen next.
Yes,
Dressel looks at you. Fun. Puts his thumbs up.
that.
I'm going to shiver slightly, because that thing unnerves me.
Yeah. His version of fun is not what we think of as fun.
Well, Olga might.
Well, it doesn't involve hitting people.
I was about to say.
He also has a great axe.
Oh, awesome.
And you can see it's stylized instead of in the Norse tradition, and a completely different tradition. You've never seen it stylized before.
Where'd you get the axe from, Drazzle?
He says, God made it.
Which god?
And he starts to go into an in-depth discussion about the god Diamond using only about 100 words.
Right, okay.
So he used the same word for many things.
Huh.
I will help translate if needs translating.
Good luck.
Draconic as well.
We've
He's
been
not
trying.
using Draconic, he's
we've
using,
been trying that
he can
for
speak
years.
your language. He can speak Common. You can also
I know,
speak
it's-
Eldenic.
Yeah, but sometimes he just likes to speak Draconic just because.
Let's be honest, Drazzle is its own language.
Yeah,
That
that's
can be true.
that's also true.
So you have met your god?
Anyone with a ghost should meet their god. It's a good thing.
How do you meet your god?
You ask.
Never tried that before.
Title's
Is it
asked.
Once intentionally, yes. Another time, not intentionally, but yes.
So Title's met God. Has Llewell met God?
I've met 2 or 3. I can't remember. Oh, I've met 3 actually.
So
Spoken to 3.
Llewell asked, how about Praedir? Has Praedir met God?
You met a true
I have been blessed on occasion to hear Atruaghin's voice.
See, he met God. How about Xander? Has Xander met God?
Nope.
Xander obviously deficient.
Xander too busy studying.
Xander should study God. Gods know all.
As much is true.
Gods know runes. Runes funny.
Gods know many things, not necessarily all, otherwise they wouldn't need us.
Well, if gods know everything, then you got to get all the gods together, squish them together into ball, and then they know all.
He's got a point.
I don't want to
In
visualize.
theory, I kind of like the idea, but in actuality, I'm not sure about it, Drazzle.
Gods are here to serve, are they not?
Aren't we supposed to serve them?
Yeah, I thought it was the other way around.
He just looks confused. Go, no, here to serve.
Okay.
It's a
I'll just
Drazzle. Remember.
take your word for that one, Drazzle.
Yeah.
I don't think Michael would appreciate it if I told him he's serving me.
Neither would mine.
I can tell him if you like.
No, we're good, Thank you. I appreciate it.
Atruaghin, he's certainly there to help the clans.
See, Praedir, you know.
So you're saying Atruaghin is serving you?
Well, it is a bilateral relationship.
We're being served up then.
There is give and take. Do you give your gods offerings in return for their service?
Obviously.
They help gods work.
Did the gods send you here? Why are you with these people? How did you come to be?
They stole items. I followed. I reclaimed items.
Members of the party that are no longer with us, Drazel stuck around afterwards.
Right.
Except for me, I'm still here.
Well, why can we not give your items back?
Well, it was honor.
Understood.
They're honor-bound items.
Yeah.
So, if we cannot give them back until we've proven worthy to use them, and if we die, Drazel has the right to reclaim them from us.
Right.
And if they sell it, he has the right to kill them.
Yes, that too.
He keeps going on about that part of it.
Yeah, but
He
I
likes
and
that part.
Drazel have this other weird bond, which is can't quite explain it, but yeah.
Title friend, not
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, we're friends, but at the same time, if he dies, I die, and vice versa. It's a weird thing.
You intertwined?
I don't
Yeah.
know. It was dragony weedy stuff. It happened.
Just take it as it comes. Okay.
Dragons' friends, not slaves.
Hmm.
To my knowledge, I'm not. Drazel,
Freed slaves earlier.
you freed slaves?
Hmm.
Where?
Dragons
Oh,
were slaves.
dragons.
Oh, dragons, right, okay.
Dragons,
First-
not slaves.
Yes.
You do realise what he's talking about, right? Remember how those dragons
Yeah.
just flew off the distance? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, those ones! Right! Yeah,
Told him where to go.
Excellent.
There we go.
That serves the old bastard, right?
So, out of curiosity, are they heading to whatever the name of the dragon city was? That we've been to, I've been to?
No, he says.
Okay. Just curious.
Hmm.
He pats you on the head. All good. Tell you later.
Okay.
At least he's going to tell you. I mean, that's a bonus right there.
That's true.
Well, you don't push Drazel, because you'll never get out of him until he wants to tell you.
That's fine. Sure, we'll have to pay that on our bill or something, because we lost our experience.
And
Yeah.
don't forget the broken bench. And face surgery for the bartender guy.
Nah, we've got magic. It's all good. I'm sure I'll be able to fix it.
Okay.
Oh, Drazel can fix if you want him to.
No.
No, be polite. No, thank you.
Drazel make worse if you want him to. If you don't want him to
think
fix,
Drazel-
Drazel will easily make worse.
It's fine, Drazel. We're
Okay.
good, Drazel.
Drazel will sit here and continue to chronicle.
That's fine.
Hmm.
You notice that half the conversation is written in the book already.
So, speaking of which, perhaps it is worth having a conversation with chronicling by having a discussion exactly where we are currently with the investigation for Redred. Xander, did you
Yo.
get any news from your meeting with your prince?
Okay, so in the strictest confidentiality,
If you can't tell us, that's understandable.
I'm just trying to know.
And while you're saying that, you're hearing the scratching of a pen.
He is writing all this down.
It's confidential.
Just
Just a Drazel.
I'm not sure if essentially we need to solve this, and there's a perfectly good reason why I was the investigator, because he doesn't want me to die, and also doesn't want to seem biased. But we should definitely look into the roots of the spy to see if he is a spy or if he isn't a spy.
Well, I believe we gained some information on that.
Hmm.
Because while you were gone, we did actually get the opportunity to investigate the unfortunate elf's room. On the surface, the room was effectively bare and maintained, but was under the effects of a preservation warding that meant that seemingly it was in the same state as when he last left it.
That's how most rooms are in the college.
And but this also then meant that, so we were able to discover some information in there that definitely lends credence to the idea that our investigator was likely a spy.
Oh, they had some amazing books there. Really good ones.
So,
I wanted to read one, but didn't have time.
so we did find some information, evidence in there that apparently is in his diary, an indication that he'd found evidence of the Brotherhood of the Radiants, a religious society within Glantry. And
Which hasn't existed for, 1,000 years or something?
so, which, and as part of his investigation, he'd also managed to obtain a holy book of this organisation.
So what was it? Brotherhood of Radiance?
Brotherhood of the Radiants.
Okay.
And that included also information that actually allowed him to develop a device that might allow him to tap into their communications and conversations. However, it does seem that it's not necessarily without risk. So,
I see.
we also found the watchful eyes of our esteemed diplomat. Noted that, in fact, there was a compartment in his room that was not visible to other eyes.
The magic cupboard.
It's a window of books. Literally.
We had a number of books in there that were of questionable
Provenance?
legality.
Questionable for, as in
Questionable for Glantry.
Well,
as in politically.
And one of them would be questionable anywhere.
Ah.
Well, a number of them would be questionable anywhere.
Well,
and
actually,
together they potentially told a collective story.
Yes, the books together tell a story. The story told is not something that Glantry is going to want known.
Right. So I guess he may be in a double agent then? Is that what you're saying?
It would certainly seem he was investigating for Alphasia because we also found amongst his cupboard there was another communication device that would allow him to speak directly back to Alphasia to report his findings. But yes, as was mentioned briefly outside, these books were not suitable to be removed without some precautions. So I suggested that we certainly want to be obtaining another portal.
So they when you tried to remove these books from his secret compartment, alarms went off that the guards
no, not from the secret compartment.
Oh.
From the room.
From outside the status walls.
Right. Oh, those ones. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
As long as they were inside the room, everything was fine.
But yes, apparently the books have been, some of the books have been missing from the Galantian library for quite some time.
Which means they've got Galantian library tags on them, which is why the alarms went off.
So whether or not the other books would set off the alarm simply by their presence, you might know better.
Well, Lowell had observed that all the books were basically claimed by the Galantrian library.
Oh, that's right, yes.
And
all been collected by him. He just collected them from the library.
Because knowledge is not illegal in Glantry. It's the practicing of some of those things that are illegal, not the actual knowledge itself.
Yes. So knowing about clerical magic is fine, as long as you never ever use it.
Yeah.
Yes. Even though some people do at the college, but that's just experimentation.
Seemingly, according to this information, it's actually not uncommon practice.
Yes, but it's expressly concealed as being divine magic.
Well, they try, but yeah.
Well,
essentially.
yeah. Well, doing experimentation in sort of protected rooms under very controlled circumstances. Yeah, but what those books depict is clerical magic being used by Gladrians out and about.
And some fire and
outside
earth
the-
genasi turned up and called my style crap.
How rude.
I mean, what were you expecting? But yes, go on.
Drizzle says, shall we break them?
Who,
Sounds like a
him?
good idea.
No, people who called you bad names. He cracks fingers real loudly.
No, because it's part of the guard of the
No,
university
not
as a
now.
whole,
Maybe later.
And
Yeah.
you have to take them all out.
I know that guard. He's just rude. Don't worry about him.
Drizzle looks at you, seems to be very unconcerned about the fact of taking them all out. He doesn't seem to
Drizzle?
understand.
Michael, what you miss is the fact that it was actually a deliberate ploy by Tidal to cause them to underestimate himself.
He pats Tidal on the back going, you did well. Keep it up.
Yes. You're welcome.
Goes back to writing.
Yes.
News to me.
I look at our new friend. We have to learn to handle the way Drazel thinks.
Drazel, have you heard of passive aggression?
Is that where I beat up someone?
Passive aggression is not so much hands-on aggression, but verbal aggression.
I have,
But not
breath that
shouting.
freezes things.
Not
Draco
Let-
is
let's-
quite effective at passive aggressive.
I not hit, I breathe. They go down.
still not quite the.
More emotional damage, maybe.
Oh, I got one of those.
You got
I
one
ripped
of
their
those?
soul out.
You've got everything, Drazel.
God's help.
True. They help you a lot.
Yes. Especially someone who not like dragons who rip soul out.
Just out of curiosity, Drizzle, how many have you ripped?
Oh, that would be telling.
Okay. I don't want to know, actually.
The more disturbing question, of course, is what's he done with his collection?
That's dragon business. You don't touch dragon business.
But Drizzle just looks at you and says, you know where magic come from, don't you?
As I said, no, Penadier that was a mentally disturbing question, not what he asked.
He actually turns to you and says that verbally.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's passive aggressive. There you go. You've got it.
Drizzle smile.
Penadier did mention that you already had passive aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed, but I'm not sure what will happen if we teach Drizzle passive aggressiveness. But let's see what happens.
Well, as long as someone doesn't assault him, he doesn't assault them. He never starts the fight.
This is true.
Yeah, but that's still aggressive. Well, that's careful aggressive. Careful aggression. I don't know he'd do passive aggressive per se. Although sort of he has on a couple of occasions.
He just,
Olga,
it's just not his preference.
Redrian, how did you get involved with Redrian's investigations?
You were basically investigating things in the Norse community of Vestland.
Okay.
So basically doing the same things you were doing, but in the Icefield areas.
Cool.
Investigating the elemental princes.
You okay?
Yeah, just lost my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll repeat that.
Well, sorry. And the your services, I'm sure, we're most welcome here. Although you understand the potential dangers, you do not appear to be a wizard yourself. You do understand the potential dangers here in Gladrian.
I can cast Fist. That's all I need.
True.
Dressel can show you to cast Claw instead.
Can he?
Yeah.
Drassel, show me how to cast Claw.
Just have to follow Dragon God.
Well, I follow my own god.
Yeah, but your god don't cast Claw. Your god cast Fist with eye covered.
Yes, he does. He does.
Yeah, I think though that you being able to cast axe is quite sufficient to the task.
Casting Axe is also a very, very
But
good
Axe
spell.
is close and personal. Cast Claw can be range.
Yeah, you can throw
I
it.
have a throwing axe, 2 of them.
But I don't need to throw. I can just keep doing it.
It's true. I
And then you
just-
can cast wings and fly.
I do not have wings. You are right.
There are some things I'm learning, but
So
He pats you on the head too, going, "Yes, you learn well." He more
Thank you,
dragon-like now.
are you converting him?
Yeah. You look happy.
well,
To be fair, I can also fly, so you know.
he looks at you and
I'll-
says, "But you don't have wings, no style."
I'll make the point that I did start on this path before Drazzle started trying to persuade me to do anything about it.
He's just edged you along.
He's an inspiration.
You do notice instead of being the normal sort of dragon that you've seen, his skin is a reflective blue. So it almost looks like gemstones with a blackened coloration throughout, as if it's been burnt.
Drazzle, have you been told that you are gorgeous?
Yes, he likes the name.
You like the name gorgeous?
Sound better than I'll stop hitting me.
Ah.
Or what are you? I've heard that a lot as well. Don't like that name. What are you? Seems such an inappropriate name.
Seems very
Yes.
rude.
Yeah.
Yes, and the oh fuck it's him again, which is very rude of them.
It is. He hit the last one who said that.
You seem to go by many names.
Yes.
You must be well known.
Been here a while.
How long?
He writes under 4 names.
Time immaterial.
You have been here a while.
I've been here 3 times at the same time.
Is that your god's
He's-
doing?
See, Drazzle kind of showed up one day and gave us some magical artifacts from our future, which still doesn't make sense. Just to give you a bit of perspective, thanks.
From your future?
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently he's seen my wife and child somewhere in the future, so...
Yeah. Drizzle here and not here at the same time.
Drazzle,
Um,
I'm not going
and
to ask.
we don't usually.
And apparently people who try and get into the back of his wagon end up being thrown into the path.
No, backwards.
Or just plain gone.
We haven't quite worked that bit
okay.
out yet.
Backwards, sort of, okay, it's like being in the past, only worse.
That doesn't sound so bad. I get to meet my ancestors. They ate me all the time.
We don't know if you'd return or not, though.
Yeah, no one
So
else
far
knows
we've had,
that.
like, 3 guards, 5 dragonkin, a couple of merchants somewhere, and something else that went in. The only thing that came out was a tortoise.
Wait,
So-
Drazzle, have you met my ancestors?
Which ones? Do you know them?
Oh, I don't have them. I'm just...
Yes. He asked you to name them so he can say if he's met them or not.
Let me just get a bunch of names out really quickly. I don't know.
That's okay. Drizzle does that to people.
Okay, yeah.
So if you say yes, you name some of your ancestors.
Yeah. names
Then
of my ancestors.
he tells you about one of your great uncles.
Oh, wow.
It describes him as if he'd just met him yesterday.
That is incredible.
Uh-huh.
Drazzle, do you have stories of these?
He gives you a drinking story that you remember something about something that happened to one of your ancestors. It was never indicated what happened, and it ended up with their entire settlement getting leveled. But it sounds along the lines of what Drizzle's talking about.
I hope they died in glory.
But who's
Mountain fell on them.
That sounds fair enough.
They angered the
fought off a-
gods.
They died fighting off a mountain. That's how to
No,
describe that
giants.
They died fighting giants. Ah, the Jotun.
They weren't fighting.
They...
They were drunk.
Oh. Sounds about right.
No guards. All drunk.
one. They died fighting a mountain while impaired. How heroic.
They weren't fighting, he said. They were snoring.
Yes.
It's
They're
fine.
all
They were
passed out.
still they still died.
Yeah.
died.
Semi-fighting.
But there's telling people what happened and what actually happened. They don't have to be the same thing.
I mean,
He never embellishes. That's one of his sad things.
as far as last moments go, I reckon a night of debauchery was a good last night.
But they did go out for bang, he said.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
And that was the mountain falling on them.
Yes, he went bang.
I can imagine.
Long and drawn out bang.
Russell, I hope to get more stories later, but do you think we should be moving along? Do we have an investigation?
Yes. Mr. Lead Investigator Diplomat, what do you suppose we go next?
Well, we have 2 invitations, both of which,
Yes.
invitations, both of which are, we want to see you immediately.
Yeah.
A couple of hours ago.
By 2 people who are vying for power and don't like each other.
Yeah, you need to sort that out.
So one side is the high elves who are tiny.
Mhm.
They have this height problem,
Mhm.
and they're very sensitive about height.
Okay,
And he's not from the same clan of high elves, and he's quite tall, so he's about twice their height.
so how tall are these high elves?
I'm
These
6
high
feet
elves-
tall.
These high elves are between 3 and 4 feet,
Right, so I'm
They're the
6
height
foot.
Of, the height of wolves.
and basically
Don't tell them that.
they have this cultural hatred of people who talk down to them.
But everybody talks down
Yes.
to them. Okay.
Cultural hatred of everyone who talks down to them. And then you got the other elves who they're at war with, who are the wood elves, who are all tall,
Mm.
and make these heightest jokes.
Yes, and don't like high elves, and
Yeah.
I'm a high elf,
Right.
so I'm going to annoy people both ways.
Yep.
Like you mean both tall and short?
Yep.
Both wood elf and short. Yes.
You just got here and you're already on good terms.
Well,
I
this
mean, you
is
just
why-
got to the long and short of it.
Oh, shut up. That's one of the jokes I'm seriously not doing. Because that would be bad in several directions. Yeah, so the problem is, as far as I know, both of the families involved are as, I'll check with Ethan, but I get the impression they're both as powerful as each other.
So one of them
Sorry,
is that has asked you is Donna Cornelia de Balquedes de Fedoras, and
Yeah.
she is the princess in charge of Balquedes, which is the elven principality of Galantry, because there are a bunch of principalities that all work together.
Bless you.
And the other one who has asked for your attention is Princess Carlotina Rowan, who is if I get the name, make sure I get the name right. So she is princess of the Irwin lands of Galantry. So, and they have a river between them, which they constantly fight over.
Yes, which means they're not just family enemies and political enemies, they're direct enemies, and they're actually in combat with each other.
Well, not
Direct
physically
or
that you see, but it's more of
conflict with each other.
constant conflict. And so the Balquedes ones are pretty much Spanish elves.
Yeah, and the other ones are Italian.
More hippie.
Yeah.
Either way, it's the McDougalls and the McDoyles.
Yes.
Very much so.
Facing each other across the valley.
And you're in between them.
Yes. And unless Drazzle can duplicate me for the duration, I'm going to.
Do you say that out loud?
Do it.
Yes, actually, I'm actually saying this. Unless Drazzle, please Drazzle, don't
I'll
do
prepare my
this
backup character.
unless I specifically ask you to.
Because this can't go wrong.
But unless Drazzle actually duplicates me, I'm going to see one and piss the other one off.
But so at this stage, though, your current plan is to piss both off equally.
Well,
I don't think either.
I could not see either of them. The problem is, one or both of them is likely to send. Well, actually, both of them are likely to send someone to beat me up for dissing them both.
I'm not going to say beat up. Trust me, it's not going to be beat up.
No, it's going to be an assassination.
Yeah.
Possibly with poison and or magic. Probably not.
Or at the
Yeah.
worst case, just a curse or two.
Yeah. Well, same thing really.
These magic types don't fight with any honour. You fight fist to fist.
Yeah.
And I mean,
no,
we were already, 2 hours late to both, so
Yeah.
we're already insulting them both, so we're at a really good start.
Yes.
Well, Dressel thinks for a minute and says, can send you back to see both of them.
Oh god.
Kennedy was just making the same conclusion himself with the discussion about having spoken to ancestors and been in the same place 3 times at the same time.
Hey, Luell, maybe you could use the caravan for the first time.
Drazzle, how safe is that to do?
He looks down at his scales. Not very.
At least he's honest.
Yeah, that's true.
So we shouldn't do it then.
1 in 10 survive.
You could be that one, Luell.
I am not a gambler, so I do not attempt odds such as that.
Well,
Put it this way, I just rolled a d20, I did not get a 1 or a 2, I'm not doing it.
so
So it's not a
the
good
question
plan.
is, are you going to either?
Xander, you're the local expert.
You should definitely go to one of them, otherwise
Oh my
you're
goodness.
most certainly dead.
You guys are just passing this on to each other. Can someone make a decision, or I'm going to ask Drazzle to make it for us?
Okay.
Drazzle's thinking quite heavily at the moment.
Kennedy was asking whether he was going to go to either of them, because if not, well then we can potentially go and pick up a portable portal to go and collect the books.
I probably recommend to probably go to the High Elves, because you are a High Elf, even though you're tall, but you still have the ancestry and stuff.
I can get around the height thing as long as I don't make any height jokes.
What if you
Exactly.
entered on your knees? Would that help?
That would probably be
I just stopped you from
I would not do such a thing because that would be making fun of them.
yeah, I wouldn't
Oh.
say
You're
anything,
mocking me.
otherwise Drazzle might cut off your knees
Right.
anyway.
I will go and
Um,
see Donna Camina de Belcabith.
Drazzle decides he's going with you.
Oh god.
Very well, Drazzle.
Well, that was what Kennedy was about to ask, was
Yes.
an invitation where you should take all those who are connected currently to yourself.
If you wish to come, I think it would be a good idea for us to stay together, particularly since you guys can't go anywhere without me.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I can.
You can, but they can't.
Yeah.
So they have to come with me anyway, really.
You can always stay outside the room, I guess, while you
Yeah.
talky talk.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Whatever it is you diplomacy
Probably
people do.
I where I diplomat at them. Yes, I'm just looking at that one myself. Drazzle, I will ask one thing. Please don't eat any of the elves that are there, despite the fact they look snack-sized.
Didn't I eat them last time?
When?
I'm just making sure.
When I visited them last time?
How long ago?
2 years.
So you were here 2 years ago and you ate
No.
some... Huh?
2
Yes.
years from now.
Oh.
He hasn't been here yet.
Yeah,
So
but...
they don't know him, but he knows.
Well,
Apparently he's
last
gonna-
year I ate one.
Oh,
last
last
year.
year.
But
So
the
you-
last time I visited him was 2 years ago. Or 2 years from now.
Okay, time thing aside, apparently he's eaten these before, so...
We'll
Do
be
they taste
walking
good?
time with one stuff.
No, salty.
Like to see.
Eats too much bad meat.
Well, there you go. Now it's a bad taste in his mouth, he's not going to eat them, so you're fine.
For now.
Just don't show him what ketchup is.
Goes great with halflings, he says.
As long as he doesn't eat.
I'm not going to ask why you
Well,
know that, but I'll just believe you, Drazzle.
As long as he doesn't eat northern pickled cod.
Or pickled halfling, for that matter.
Well, yes.
He's not tried yet, but we'll try if you ask.
As long as I don't try it on Phipps, you'll be fine.
I'm sure they sell here. They sell other pickled stuff.
They sell pickled halfling here?
Halfling, not people here.
Well, this is concerning.
Neither is dwarf.
Which market sells pickled halfling? Where the hell are we?
Glantry City, he says.
Remember,
And
this
pat you on
is
the shoulder.
planetary where if you're a non-mage, you're not entirely human. And
think-
if you're not actually human, then you're really not human.
Okay. Tito's just going to kind of sit down and shut up for a sec. And come to terms with the fact they're eating halflings here.
I say, you can't knock it till you try it.
It's the ethical consideration that's the problem, not the actual meat itself. I'm sure the meat itself is perfectly lovely, especially if they've been drinking mead and eating honey cakes the way halflings so apparently so often do.
It was very flavoursome, he said. Tasted better than the elf. Human at the front door, he didn't taste so good. He tasted like he'd been not eating well.
On the way out, we should tell him to eat well.
Yeah.
Wow.
He agrees.
So when Drazzle literally eats his way to the bar, he eats
Yes.
his way to the bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why if she's in the way?
Penalty quietly leans across to Tidal and says, "Yeah, he's your friend."
Yeah, but I'm still learning about him. Doesn't mean it
Yeah.
doesn't scare me sometimes.
It's Drazzle, he should scare everybody. Apparently does.
Yeah, I was about to be like,
Okay, and Druzzle asks if you need a transportation to Princess Tower.
We will need some transportation.
You go arrange. He says he gets up and just walks through the ward.
You realise he might go get the caravan.
Given that we want to, or given that I want to impress, and having that caravan be what comes through, they'll be able to see what it actually is. Should impress them reasonably nicely.
Okay,
Of course,
just
if he goes and finds some ratty old boat, that's going to be quite different.
I'm
I
more
just wanna
expecting.
point.
How's your dragon riding skill?
About up there with my ability to actually fly.
If you
oh, that's easy. I can make you fly.
Yeah, my ability to actually fly.
I think bringing the caravan's fine. Just make sure you count all the high elves in the room, because there may be less when you leave, and often it's the horse.
Yes.
Well, isn't it kind of
Okay.
counter diplomacy to eat your guests?
Well,
Or
as long
hosts?
as I'm going to be in full view of a number of people at all times, and they're going to be keeping an eagle eye on me. If any of their people go missing, it isn't going to be my fault. Although, probably I'll get blamed, so please don't eat anyone.
They might well blame you if it's the 5 black dragons you rode in on.
I didn't ride in on 5 black dragons, unless that's what Drazzle's gone to get.
Probably.
Better if it's the finally he gets the picture. Look.
I'm concerned either way.
Yes.
Because we'd already decided that the cart was probably too far away.
But, well,
Five black
supposedly.
dragons are apparently quite close.
Usually when it comes to the cart, what we think is too far away is right next to us as far as Jazz are concerned.
Well, it's still too far away. Not far away enough, I should say.
Yeah, give me a sec. Gotta go and do a thing.
Oh look, it's the cart.
Okay, so the room shakes a little bit. You don't know why you can't hear anything outside the room.
Should we go investigate that?
No, it's probably the cart.
You really want to know?
What is this card you keep mentioning?
It's this cart that Drazzle drags around with him that has a mount that looks like a horse because of a spell.
Oh, this is the ancestral cart, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
It's an impressive cart, but it kind of eats people, and so does the horse.
So what you're saying is we give it an offering and then we can ride the cart?
I don't know. We're still trying to work it out. And that's
No one
the
else has
worrying
ridden the
bit.
cart yet.
Right.
And I wouldn't recommend trying to ride the horse either. It's not a horse.
So in terms of transportation, that doesn't seem like the way to go.
Sorry, dog crumb.
Probably not.
That's okay. And then dust starts falling from the ceiling.
Why?
So should we go investigate that?
Yes.
Yes, let's
Kennedy is
get
certainly
up.
getting up to find out what's happening.
Okay.
He's unfortunately certain what's happening, but
As you step out of the ward, you start hearing some sort of bell ringing in the distance.
Oh no.
Are we under attack?
As you rush out, you see that there are a bunch of guardsmen in gondolas that are sinking,
Sinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
and
What
there's
the significance of that bell?
a dragon about the size of a three-masted ship staring at them.
What colour?
Holy scribblets.
He is a brilliant blue color.
Ooh, blue. We haven't seen
Oh.
blue for a long time.
Hold on, brilliant blue.
Not since.
Is he the same colour as? Is he the same colour as Draz?
He is a not a glistening blue, more of a chromatic blue.
Not since Lenathon.
Kennedy is privately thinking that, gee, life was simpler when I was stupid and didn't know ways of the world.
Yes, but it's so much more fun this way.
Where's Drazzle?
Drazzle is currently standing on his head.
Yeah, I shouldn't have bothered asking. I should have expected that.
Of course, you see the dragon first before you see Drazzle, but when you start looking for Drazzle, he's right there and he's telling off the guardsmen,
Of course he is.
dressing them down, telling them how impolite they are.
Yes,
Alright.
I'm parking here. You shouldn't have stood here.
Oh. Come on.
And basically, you notice that most of every now and then the tower you're in just shakes, and you realise it's the dragon's tail as it's just moving around eating patients.
There we go. Have a dog.
Okay.
And after about 5 minutes, the head turns towards you. It's about the size of a barn.
Yeah. So, Drazzle, you recruited a friend.
No, asked for a ride.
You asked for a ride.
Yes.
Is he willing to take all of us?
He said so.
Good, thank you.
He promised
Good.
not to eat you on the way.
Or
That's on the
Much
way. What about the way
appreciated.
back?
He never guaranteed way back. He just asked for
Okay.
trip to tower. One-way trip.
So
Yeah,
we have to
I'm
leave in a
fine.
different manner then.
That's fine. We'll get a taxi.
Well, at least we'll get there quick, to be fair.
We'll get there really impressively, which is the big thing. I'm quite pleased with this, and thank you very much, Drazzle, for what you've done.
God provides, he says.
Let's get on the dragon and go.
Okay.
Thank you. What is your god's name again?
His name is Diamond.
Diamond. Thank you, Diamond.
Diamond solves all problems. If not, hit with axe.
It's another way to solve all
Fortunately, Pettidier rolled a natural 1 on his religion check, so he's none the wiser right now.
There is a god
Yeah.
which is literal stone of diamond.
Yes. Yeah, I quite appreciate it because of the way that the pantheons work. Diamond's actually in my pantheon, as well as being in the purely dragon pantheon.
Is the whole Norse pantheon in the lore?
Yep.
Cool.
They have more than some of the lore, and some of them have different names, but they're all there.
Okay.
Even Loki.
And
Nice.
even before the name of the dragon was mentioned, Martin,
Yep.
Pettidier was certainly pulling his flute out to have ready available if we go for a ride.
Drazzle
Actually, this.
tells you how to get on the dragon without annoying it.
Thank you.
Are you offering to play music to the dragon? Because I don't recommend it.
No, he's not ready to play music to the dragon.
He's trying to protect himself if he were to fall off the dragon.
He's ready to
Yeah.
play music if something goes wrong.
Oh,
Or
that's
when
your
something
flute
goes
that makes
wrong.
you all flappy. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a point actually, Martin.
Yep.
Ilsendir, whatever my god's name is, in Norse terms, he'd be Odin, right?
No, there is a different Odin god.
Ah. So he's actually not part of theirs.
He relates
Unless
to them,
he's-
but he's not part of them.
Unless he's Uller.
I believe if it's not listed on the page, he doesn't actually associate with them, and I can quickly look that up without taking too much time. because luckily enough, it is fairly easy to get to.
Yes. So after you do the reorganisation, much easier to get to now. Ilsendorf, there we go.
I'm looking for I. Where is I? There it is.
Hiding under I.
Yeah. Okay, so no, he's not one of the Norse gods,
No, he's not.
but he's a dwarven god.
Yep. Yes, which is one of the reasons I get to Mazikeen.
So his name is. What did I have him down as name? Yeah, that's the dwarven one. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, he is a god in the region.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tower you're going to is number 8. Where is number 8? Number 8 is all the way over here. Okay. I think it's that one there.
Yeah.
So that means you're just crossing all the way from over here across the entire city to over there.
In a walking great dragon that's not licensed.
What other way to go?
That's
I'm
okay.
going to impress the absolute pajamas out of people.
Well, considering the dragon himself could probably be licensed if he wants to be.
Yes.
Well, that's assuming he's not considered nobility.
Dragon that size, I'd give him a noble title if he wants it. I wouldn't say no, put it that way.
Okay, so when everyone's on board, he decides to go through the canals. He likes the water,
Fair enough. Seems a
Okay.
water
and
dragon.
and basically he has fun pushing all the boats out of the way as he's going along there, because basically it's like Venice.
Yep. Fair
And
enough.
Right.
anywhere where it's just a little too tight, he just squeezes past everything.
So he's doing impressions of being ship-sized, a ship.
Yep. And he has his.
And is the area of his back or neck or whatever it is that we're standing on staying above water level?
It is. He's even using his wings to make sure the water doesn't come up to you.
Cool. Alright, I resist the temptation to take poses if I'm surfing.
No, you don't.
I said I resist the temptation.
Well, you attempt to resist it.
Yes.
I'm gonna wonder why I ever did boats when dragons are here. I should have done dragons instead of longboats.
Well, there's a reason they put a dragon's head on the prow.
Yeah, I was about to say most of them have dragon heads on them.
True. Dragon boats.
Okay, so you do notice that every now and then there's like a military blockade in front of you.
Yeah,
And
what
then they
military
get out of the
blockade?
They go to use magic, but nothing seems to work.
Because big dragons are magic resistant.
No, they just seem to be pointing. Like they look like they're pointing sticks and waving them, but nothing's happening.
Oh dear.
Penny will tap Xander on the shoulder and just say, make certain you're standing up tall, but I want to see who to blame.
No. Drazzle's up front. It's all good.
And Drezel is standing high and prominent on the dragon's head.
Yeah, remember Draggle's under your protection.
Yes.
And every now and then you can hear him calling out in Draconic praises to the Great One, which is the ruler of all dragons.
Right, okay, cool.
He's multi-theology.
Oh, cool.
You don't have to follow just one god as long as you follow the pantheon.
Yes.
He doesn't have much regard for local customs, does he?
No, he never has.
Drazzle is his own local custom wherever he goes.
Well, they're dragons. They're preeminent. Just ask them. Of course, a lot of other people say the same thing, but hey.
And you can hear bells ringing all over the city behind you as you're going through the city.
It doesn't surprise me.
My
All
cloak
the
is
fanfare.
billowing. My cloak is billowing impressively.
Okay, so
Kennedy, on the other hand, is definitely staying down undercover, out of sight as much as possible.
Yes.
you see him go past the wizard's tower and all these wizards closing doors, locking them. You can even hear the bolts of many things along that line as the dragon's going past.
They're not even trying spells. They know it's not going to work.
No, you think they did.
So they already have.
Well, they tried and gone, no, that's not going, let's just close the doors. I wasn't here, I was at lunch.
And then it reaches Carlotta's tower. Okay, and the tower itself. So it's a house made of fine pink marble with carved wood. You see many bushes and flowers in reach in niches and balconies along the walls. The roof has an elegant garden with a small jade fountain, continuously spouting white wine.
Okay.
And she's known to live in the upper areas of the tower. With lots of other interesting things in there, such as the rumours of the birds that are carnivorous that live in the tower top. They eat unwanted visitors.
Who did you say lived here?
Princess Cornelia.
The small elf princess.
Right.
So that's why she's got a tower.
Right.
She's the one who nearly comes up to your
And
waist.
if her tower is to say anything about her personality,
Just think like Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
She's not compensating at all.
not compensating at all.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Right.
No.
Do appreciate her fountain though.
Yeah, and as the dragon reaches the
haven't
end,
tasted the wine yet.
you see the guardsmen who seem to be lining up to try to stop the dragon. Just part and run as a dragon just comes out of the water right at them without stopping.
It's a good idea.
Yes.
Then he stops in front of the tower doors and kneels so you can all get off.
I.
Gonna
Get
thank
down?
him as we get down.
Yeah, get down and say thanks in Draconic.
Yes.
The dragon nods in your direction, but doesn't say anything.
Yes. I do the same.
I'm just gonna thank him in common.
And moments later, he just fades away.
Yes. So anyone attempting to arrest the dragon is going to have a little bit of a problem. Okay. I approach the door.
And you notice that there's Drazzle standing there knocking on it.
Drazzle, they know we're here. You don't need to knock.
Don't tell him that.
He hands you the knocker.
I don't take it.
He shrugs, tosses it over his shoulder.
What's the knocker made of?
It was made of metal. It's slightly bent.
Well,
I'll
it used to, now it's made of 2 bits of metal. One of which is still attached to the door.
I'll pick it up and mend it back to the door.
Okay. As you're in there putting it under the door opens with you holding the half of the knocker.
I'm
And
I'm gonna laugh.
there's an elf looking up at you going, Sander, not you again.
Oh, hi. Long time no see.
Okay.
Actually, that's a greeting I wouldn't use around these people. Hello is what I would say.
They know me, it's okay.
And looking up at you is Don Ricardo. He is an elf who's many years above you in the school. And always picked on you as a child.
This is fun.
Yeah, basically saying how slow humans are with the fact that in the whole time you've been in the school, he's been in the same year. Well, elves take about 10 years to graduate each year.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not because they're not gifted, it's just they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care,
Lazy
and they
students.
live, and they live long enough. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, essentially.
And they want all the elves, if they don't get straight A's on everything, have to repeat.
It's a lot of pressure.
Not really, when they've got 10 years to do it in.
Oh, that's true, actually, yeah.
By the time
Yeah.
they hit the 10th year, they're able to get straight A's because they know the work back to front.
Yeah.
True.
Because let's face it, you can either keep going straight A's until you get it right, or you're repeating,
Yeah.
or you just take 10 years to do it in the first place. Either way, you're effectively repeating.
Yes. Yes. Like the ag student I knew at one point who did 6 years trying to finish second year because he'd spent most of his time either drunk, chasing cows, chasing women, or chasing a football.
Well, as long as getting priority right.
He eventually did finish his 3-year degree in 10 years.
And it's also considered daycare for elves, the Great School of
Yes,
Magic.
that's the other thing.
Is that why they call you a babysitter, Xander?
Well, yes, because I have to take care of everyone.
Uh-huh. The plot is revealed.
Okay, so he kicks you in the shins and says you're welcome to come in now.
Thanks. Always love that welcome.
Is this a common Elvish greeting?
Yes.
Well,
Really?
It's a common maid's.
He looks at Drazzle and goes, "Oh, you." Drazzle just looks at him and goes, "Yes, you taste nice, don't you?" Guy turns completely pale, which is a thing when someone is, dark-skinned.
Drazzle, that's passive aggressive. You're doing a great job, buddy.
I'll stop and let you know, Drazzle.
Don't you? He says.
I apologise for any distress that my friend has caused. He has been asked to be polite and not consume anybody this time.
Well, he's the only cleric allowed in this country at this stage.
That too.
How did he get that? He hasn't told anyone. Every time I asked him, he bit me.
That's probably how he did it. I haven't asked and I'm not going to.
You do notice he is walking around with his holy symbol dangling out of his clothing.
Yeah.
And he's got the big holy symbol on his shield.
Because he can get away with it.
And he's just been chanting his god's magic throughout the city as you've been walking through.
Yes.
No one's going to pull up about it. They'll try to and they'll fail.
Well, yes, they already have, and people have got eaten.
Okay,
or have ended up in the back of his wagon.
Mm-hmm.
So we get led to, I'm presuming, either the princess or one of her upper peoples.
Okay, they take you to a stairwell and you're going up to her tower.
Cool.
And as you head up, give me a perception roll as well.
Oh, natural 20.
Oof.
I'd show you the dice, but...
That's okay, I trust you.
That doesn't count. Yeah.
You don't get natural 20s all the time, so I trust you when you get one.
What's your total?
26.
Okay, so as you're going up the tower, you notice that your cloak starts to glow and vibrate.
Is there anything else that I'm wearing that also glows and vibrates, considering I have a number of magic items?
Yes, but how many of them come home?
How many of them are likely to set off a dragon detector, because the cloak will? This cloak's dragon made.
And as you reach the landing, you notice that you're now about half the height you were.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, that's new.
Now you would be offensive to everyone.
Guess you made the right decision coming here, am I right?
I'm not going to say anything to any of these comments. Because there's going to be somebody listening.
And you walk right out and you do see right in front of you is on her little mini throne is Princess the Balkadiz, which if I give a picture, that's what she looks like.
Yep.
So that's for you guys there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm presuming she has her charisma out the wazoo.
Oh yeah, she is very charismatic. The equivalent of a lot of tales of her beauty is spread throughout the city and the land.
Yeah.
They talk more of her beauty than anything else, which really irritates her completely.
Yes, because she knows how capable she is, and she would prefer that. Because anyone can be beautiful, but it takes brains to be like her.
Yeah.
And she's in
But the other
charge of the elves.
interesting discussion about beauty is they always talk about her being a petite beauty.
That's part of it.
And there is a bloodstain on the floor in front of her divan.
Yeah, I'm...
With a crushed rose.
Okay.
Ah,
Is this some kind of new decorative thing?
no.
Drazzle just turns to you and says, "Former suitor."
I was about to say something else.
How many did she go through?
One at a time.
Dating scene must be tough.
Yeah, I would say sort of one every week or something like that.
Okay.
I doubt she deals with two at once. She doesn't strike me as the type, Drazzle says.
No,
Is this a common elf custom? Like you date for a week and then get rid of them?
No,
It's reminds me of spiders.
Mm.
Eat them.
no. But when
male.
you're
A lot do.
beautiful, when you're beautiful and ruthless and run a noble family, yeah, this sort of thing can happen.
And standing off to the
Yeah.
side is someone which Xander recognizes. He is her younger brother, Don Diego. He has a reputation of being the fastest swordsman in the nation.
Yep, not going to challenge that.
I will do a slight bow and nod my head to him.
You've only seen him fight about 5 to 20 times. Each
Right.
time he has killed everyone he's challenged, even if it's been a group.
Yeah, I
Impressive.
stay with my stance. I'm just not going to say anything. I'll just slightly bow and also nod in his direction.
Yes, rapier spec fighter. Nasty.
He's also the expert at the School of Magic about the outer planes, slimes, oozes, puddings, and grubs. Apparently,
He's
grubs
got-
is important.
I mean,
So he's got ways to get rid of people he doesn't like.
I might not know much about Elvish culture, but do you just bow to someone else first other than the princess?
Yep, he did.
Okay.
The princess doesn't seem to mind because this guy's just sort of lounging off to the side with his hand on a rapier, which has a glow of its own, even though it's still in its sheath.
Uh-huh.
Most magical weapons don't glow when they're sheathed.
Huh.
Legendary weapons
Interesting.
or artifacts.
Like this is. I'll do a whisper too. But like this is a special circumstance.
Oh, okay.
And he nods at Drazzle, and Drazzle nods back, rubbing his arm.
Oh.
Did you bite him, Drazzle?
No,
I've got a
tried.
big on Drazzle.
Oh,
He scratched. Scratch took a week to heal.
okay. That's impressive if someone managed to scratch Drazzle.
Mm.
Yeah. That's the amusing thing. All these tales are about how badass this guy is. And he got a scratch on Drazzle. Oh,
Yeah, there we go. That's the real deal. Ooh.
He must be impressive. I'd love to see him fight one day.
Oh, yes.
Just ask, he'll fight, Drazzle says.
Somebody
Maybe I
else.
will ask
While
him.
we watch.
Does he duel without to the death?
Wait,
He obviously must practice.
Yeah, but by practice, do you mean the pile of corpses he leaves behind, or...
That's not practice, that's just slaughter. Practice is someone who can challenge you and you want to keep them around.
I don't understand these training sessions and people you have. It's weird.
That's what weapon masters are for.
What, piles of corpses behind you?
No. No, not killing your opponent and learning things while you're doing so.
He is the resident Grandmaster of the Rapier.
Yes. Yeah. So I will do the correct, proper, and appropriate things. Approach to the right distance to the throne.
And you look
Bow.
very impressive. Give me a
Persuade.
persuasion roll with advantage.
Oh, this is all going to be persuade stuff at this point, but yes. The cloak gives me advantage.
It
It
does.
is a nice cloak.
It's
Because
already giving you advantage with the height as well.
Or lack thereof.
that's, yes, new, useful, and if I ever meet an ogre, really going to be really impressive. Anyway.
Here's hoping it's permanent.
You think the ogre will be impressed at your 3 foot height?
No, I'm thinking more the cloak is going to go, it's going to be more appropriate that Claw will be 9.5 feet tall.
Ah, you're relying on it being able to turn you both ways.
I would love
Yeah,
if the
I
cloak
know.
stayed the same size, or at least
Yeah,
the
that's
length.
right.
So you've got half the size and there's twice as long as you cloak that's just, halfway down the hall bellowing behind you.
Right, yes, if I stay 3 feet tall, I'm going to have to start dating halflings.
Or elves.
Elves here.
Elven royalty.
Elven royalty here. Yeah, because these short ones aren't that common.
There's quite a few thousand of them.
Well, yeah, but they're here, and there's only a few thousand of them. Right, so, persuasion, and
Yes.
with advantage.
With advantage.
I have the cloak going, my hair is going with it, I'm the right height.
You look impressive.
Yes, I've got 18 on the dice, which gives me a 24, and the reroll, 24.
Okay, so he stands there, he's billowing, he's looking impressive, and what does he say? That's not so impressive.
Be excellent.
That's the player saying,
I know, I couldn't help it.
Yes, Quill is well practiced at this stuff. Has been doing it a couple of decades longer than me.
He says something rather impressive.
He does an impressive, the sort of greeting you would give a princess, particularly an elven one. He knows he's not going to try for the local style of basically
That's
addressing some of the
cover
stuff.
of the local
high
area.
elf style.
So yes, you go for something appropriate to their culture and location.
Yes.
Okay, so after going through an hour-long greeting,
What happens?
while everyone else is sort of standing around, look at this way. You've been speaking for an hour and no one's killed you. You've done well.
Yes. And part of it is going to apologise for time it took me to get an appropriate mount to arrive on.
Okay, so the princess accepts your introduction and then asks you to introduce your lesser friends.
Yes, this is not going to take an hour.
I don't know. Wait till you introduce Drazzle.
I'm assuming the discussions have been in Elvish so far. Is that correct?
They have been up to that stage, but then she switches to a common language to say that, and who are your friends who you brought before me?
Yeah, it's Phaeton or Trolldarin?
It would be Treldarin because that's the
local area.
The local area people started that, and Theatin is what they used when they became a nation. So they sort of have a mixture of both.
Do I even have Trolldarin?
Yeah, but yes, it's. I'm going to use whatever language she switches to.
Okay, well, she'll probably switch to Thaiation because that's what most of you speak.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the one that sounds
Romanesque.
Romanesque. Yeah, the Alphatian is the one that sounds Greek.
Yep.
So yes, I'll introduce the others. They'll get a minute or so's worth of intro each.
So how do you introduce the others? What sort of things do you say about them?
I'm going to present them with basically a very short history of their heroism and impressive deeds after naming them. So here's Pradir, and then describe some of the heroic things that he's done, which would impress an elf and or world.
Okay, so it seems that she has heard of Pradir.
Yeah.
And she asks him directly about which spirit guides does he follow. And she uses the Atruaghin language to speak to you. With a very heavy accent, so it's almost like impossible to understand her words. It's like listening to a Scottish speaker.
Yes.
So I will explain in Elvish that yes, I am a proud member of the Elk tribe, Deer clan, and as a messenger of Atruaghin, the Raven provides guidance.
Okay, and she offers you a gift of a raven for thanks for your deeds in the past and in the future for her people.
Very cool. Which goes nicely with the raven on my shoulder.
Atruaghin has asked that I be of service to all.
And then she asks Llewell to continue.
So I'm going to do the same type of intro for everybody, although I will have to.
Who's the second person you do?
Second person I do is Tidal.
She apparently has no idea who Total is. And skips over him.
Yes, I'm not going to mention the book or anything like that because that's not really heroic. If she finds out about the book through her researchers, that's up to her.
Who's next?
I will introduce Drazzle as this is Drazzle. You know him.
Yeah, she sort of looks at Drazzle and says to him, what you asked for last time has been done.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I will mention that I've known Drazzle for a number of years. This is me riding his coattails at this point. And I'll go over some of the sort of heroic things that we have got involved in. Xander, he's a local. He has been assigned to us for this purpose. I get to know much about his background or deeds. Olga has...
And so when you talk about Xander, she sort of looks at him and goes, "You go to the school with my son, don't you?" She says.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I sort of thought you looked familiar, and then she glosses over you as well.
That's fine.
Been dismissed.
That's good.
Which is probably good, because that means she's not likely to think that much.
I should also just confirm, Martin, as I said, Pettidier,
Yep.
and I say, I was quite deliberately, Pettidier was standing in the background, quiet throughout the proceedings. When addressed, stepped forward, and then he stepped back again into the background.
Yep.
And Olga, who I will introduce as a renowned warrior of the North. Unfortunately, I don't personally know of any of her prior heroism that I can relate.
Okay, well, she
I
mentions some of the things that you didn't know about, and seems to know about some of the things you've done in the Northlands, and seems to know your uncle, and finds it funny that he lost his dragons.
I find it funny as well.
And she
Thank you for your praise.
she wishes you good fortune in this country,
I nod. Thank you.
and hopefully you don't die too soon.
I'll try not to.
Okay, so, and in finishing, she says that, you know, as you're a high elf of good stature.
I'm not going to grin at that.
And willing to meet them on their terms, she is happy to provide any assistance you might need in the city while you're here.
I give her effusive thanks. This should take about 5 minutes for an appropriate thank you.
Including accommodation if you need it.
Okay. Having a think, would that be useful? Well, actually, saying no would be probably considered rude. Given where we're staying at the moment, would it be useful for us to move to accommodation she gives us?
You will be really close to the Great School of Magic where you are now.
We could stay with Drazzle.
I'm not sure I'd want to stay with Drazzle.
Why
Drazzle
not?
probably just ends up going where he wants to anyway. I will accept her offer. Sorry, I will look at the others and see if any of them has a real problem with this.
Pettidier will give a slight glance at the thought of, well, you're not concerned about insulting others. But obviously not making any statement, so it's how you interpret his glance is up to you.
Yeah. I will suggest that given what we are attempting to, our purpose here would be better served by not getting in the way of her servants being a little bit not quite so high profile as to be.
So well, it would make a statement for the other factions of the city not to mess with you.
Actually, yeah. Okay.
At least they incur my wrath, she says.
There is, yes, that is actually an incredibly good point, and I will take that. Actually, that would solve a couple of problems as well. I will accept.
Okay. She says quarters had already been made up for you.
Thank you very much.
And as she's saying that, you sort of hear the not so subtle walking of Drazzle leaving the room.
Drazzle, where are you going?
To what was prepared earlier, he says.
Fair enough. Will I see you again?
Of course, I've already seen you earlier, he says.
Understood. I will see you earlier then.
Where are we staying now then? I want to stay with Drazzle.
Yeah, he's staying here, but he's already seen where we're going to be going to.
Wait, he's staying here? Like the palace?
Well, what was prepared, it may not be in the palace. It may be one of the other buildings, but we'll see.
Oh.
Do you follow him?
No, I wasn't invited.
Well, no, I've got to wait. I'm going to wait for us to be dismissed because we're not going anywhere until she says it's time for us to go.
Yeah. I wasn't invited, so...
You don't walk out on a princess.
No. I know.
Unless you're Drazzle.
Okay, and then she dismisses you after that. You can sort of hear a sigh from her chair. You think she's dealt with him before?
Yeah.
I'd like to go try to talk to her brother. What was his name?
His name is Don Diego.
Don Diego.
Yeah, very much named for that sort of person.
And he has captain's badges on his clothing.
Awesome. I'll approach him and
He looks
bow,
up at you. He gives you a charming smile.
I'll walk over with you so he knows who you are and I can introduce you.
He just looks at you and says, "My ears have not lessened their capabilities since you last met me," he said.
That's good to know.
He
He was in the room the whole time the entire party was introduced.
Oh, right. Title nods and
He was
smiles.
right there.
Okay. He was lazing on the divan.
And so what may a warrior like you need in a place like this?
Oh, I don't need anything. I was just wondering if I'd be able to see you fight sometime during my stay.
I'm sure you will. Many people come here wanting to seek the princess's hand in marriage.
Ah.
If they ask him politely, then they don't get to ask again.
Right.
Is it...
So all I need to do is watch out for a suitor and then come running with my popcorn?
Oh no, I can have you sent for if you wish.
Please.
It
Thank
happens
you.
on a, every couple of days at least one shows up thinking that they're God's gift. And one even said he was God's gift. I got to kill him quick.
Oh, right. I'd love to see that in action.
That was fun.
It is
I
pretty
look forward to it. Thank you very much for your time.
He has a reputation that his rapier grants him speed. Well, extra speed.
Yes. If you ask him right, you can get looting rights as well.
And how would you feel about teaching me some of your ways?
I don't know, you seem to be not as elegant with weapons. You seem to like the...
I am a bit heavy-handed,
yeah.
which is why I need to learn.
Well, my style's all about not getting hit and moving fast.
Right.
Being small helps.
That's valid for a barbarian, actually. If you think about it. You wear lighter armor than a fighter and do the same job.
Yeah.
So, yeah, rapier, a barbarian with an oversized rapier just sounds really amusing.
Now he's actually intrigued.
I appreciate all fighting styles.
Yeah, actually, here's the thing. Look up the sword type tuck.
How do you spell
It's basically
Just TUP?
TP, I think.
that? Okay.
Tuck, Tuck.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's basically a long sword that's a spike. It has no edge. It's got a relatively light blade. It's designed to punch holes in things, and what you end up with is basically a two-headed rapier.
Fair enough.
Well, I think these rapiers are edged weapons, so they're not actually the standard rapiers.
I know. D&D doesn't have tucks in it, so don't worry about that. But you can go, I'm carrying a rapier, what I'm actually carrying is a tuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it a rapier and then stab people with it. And go, it's a longsword.
Okay.
Yes, I named my longsword rapier.
Although doing the same thing with a great sword is just really amusing.
And while you're having a conversation with him, the tower starts to shake.
Is this a common occurrence for you?
Hey,
Apparently today it is. Yesterday it was alarm bells and,
Maybe I'll hang around even after this job is done. You guys seem amusing.
well, Drazel is at least.
yeah, you can see Don Diego just roll his eyes, and he hates dealing with dragons.
More?
Have you not dealt with that tall dragonborn?
Drazel?
Yes.
I like Drazel.
Yes. He's frustrating to deal with. He
I
talks
find him
in
very
riddles.
simple.
Yeah, you get used to that.
I've known him for quite a while. I haven't gotten used to it.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that then.
Well, he talks with his tense wrong.
I take it you fought him before?
3 times, but he only remembers 1.
Why would you only remember one? Do you not?
Apparently, he says he hasn't done the others yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he does that.
I'm actually getting the impression that we've known Drazel since we started, and there are people around who've known him for longer than we have.
Yes. And he's still only 6 years old.
No.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure Drazel's known me since I was a wee little Genasi. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I've known him for a while, he says, is all he says.
Okay. Now these dragons we're supposedly dealing with, are you talking about Drazel or the shaking?
Both.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess we should see to that.
Oh, he's already seeing to it. That's the shaking.
Oh.
Guess
Okay.
let's go to our quarters.
I guess
Yeah.
so. Where's Drazel gone?
He's got
I don't think it's where, I think it's when. He says, as he leads you off to his quarters.
Yeah, I'm just going to try not to
okay.
think about that too much.
I'll just follow suit.
Yes.
He's walking along. He says he seems to have this really annoying habit of talking about time as if it's malleable.
Yeah, he does that.
If you follow the right gods, that's valid.
He looks at you and says,
But
"Yes, but
let's
not
not
many
do-
people do it."
No, not many people do it, and let's not talk about it here in this country. But yes, there are weirdos out there who do this stuff.
Hey, time travel is
And,
something that even wizards can do.
Yeah, I was about to say, and it's something that somebody in the Wizards Tower is going to be doing.
As he's walking along, he says, "It's probably not something celestial warlocks will do very often." He says as he walks past you.
I'm not going to say a thing.
And he takes you to some lavish quarters that you sort of think of as presidential.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to think to myself though, if I were a celestial warlock following the right god, I could probably do it. But I'm not going to go into that because talking about gods in danger is just a bad idea.
It is. Okay, and he says if you have need of anything, just ring that silver bell on the table and someone will come to your need.
Thank you.
And if you have need of me, just ask. I am at your disposal while you're residing here.
Very well. Thank you for your time.
I am happy to champion a cause if you need it, he says.
Awesome.
And it gives you a
Awesome.
big smile. Especially you, Olga, he says. You obviously need lots of championing here and there.
Oh,
It gives you a wink and walks off.
I'm not sure how to react to that. I'm just gonna hold my tongue for the time being.
It's okay, he wasn't asking you out, he was just, enjoying the attention.
Yes. He was flirting with your kneecap.
My kneecap,
Let's
yes.
not make a joke in here.
You can flirt with kneecaps?
You can.
Is this another elvish custom I should be aware of?
I look at him and raise one eyebrow.
What?
Look at how tall I am right at the moment, please.
Yeah, it's impressive. You should stay that way.
You are roughly the size of a football.
I agree.
A Viking football, at least.
Doesn't he make a great footstool?
True.
Considering all the furniture here is sized for him.
Oh, our beds are gonna be tiny, aren't
Tiny.
they?
Let's put like 4 together just to make one bed.
Yes.
And then in walks Drizzle.
Drizzle,
He's about 7 foot at the moment.
did he grow since the last 5
He's
minutes?
about 8 foot.
Well, he shrunk from then.
This I think is an earlier Drizzle, possibly.
Okay.
And he's got, instead of the blue scales, he's got a bronze sort of scales.
A what? Okay.
Drizzle,
He was.
have you
Remember he was
changed?
bronze. Remember he was
Yeah,
bronze.
he looks
Yeah.
like no, I was always like
when
this.
you first met him.
Do dragons shed?
Yes,
No.
he says.
They
This is-
do.
Well, yes,
Are
they
you
do.
shedding?
This is an
Not today.
earlier
Not
Drizzle.
today.
Drizzle, when are you from?
Now,
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'm here now.
What's the-
And what about the other you?
That was then.
And the previous you?
Also then.
And what about the future
Is this-
you?
That will be later.
How many years
I
down
wanna
your
go sit
own
down.
personal timeline are you?
Do you need a
and how many
drink?
years
Too many
down your
Drizzles.
personal timeline?
You have to kind
is
of
the
take a
blue
break to
He
get used
pulls
to it.
out his fingers and starts counting, and he says 6.
one. Right, and how many years down your present timeline is the one that we were talking to earlier this morning?
Wait, there are 6 Drizzles?
6, he says.
Yeah.
In the same way that he was age 6 when you first met him.
I'm concerned, but at the same time,
Well, actually, it should be 9 by now, so it's 9. Yeah,
9
it's
Drizzles.
So do you remember?
9 years, he
The rest
says.
of the
Oh,
month.
9 years.
Do you remember meeting us before then?
9 years.
Is he shedding in
No.
time?
You can shed in time? Is that a dragon thing?
Well, it might be for him.
Like you shed your soul and it duplicates you? Oh no, it's too much. I'm going to bed. Brain can't handle this.
Hey, it's dinner time.
Drizzle looks
Oh.
around going,
Yeah.
I haven't been here before, where are we?
I describe where we are and who's in charge and what we're up to.
He just nods and sits down and pulls out a book.
How's your book going, Drizzle?
Book going well.
Which one are you working on?
Currently, he starts flicking go, and he starts reading out the discussion you had in the tower about an hour earlier.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Up to there, he says.
I wonder which book that'll be in. Have you worked on...
Hold on. Which means the book that he's got carries across the different versions of him in time. Because that book was being held by the blue 8-foot Drizzle at the time.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, that is a good point, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like a dragon artifact or something, you know.
Probably.
And you notice the same quill the guy was that he was using
Yeah.
earlier is also there.
Yeah,
Probably still got some of the blood on him.
probably.
Or
Drizzle, can
Yeah.
I write a line in your book, or is no one else allowed?
No, my book, I write.
Fair. I'm just gonna go sit down.
What if she used the quill to write on her book?
She can write on her book, but my book, my story.
Okay, alright. That's a no, apparently.
Understood.
But he does hand the quill out. He says, you want to write with quill? Quill, fine, but my book.
Is the quill magical?
It writes words. Words can be magic.
It's the same quill they stab someone in the face with, so yes, it's magical.
Yeah, yeah. Which is why it's concerning somewhat. I mean, I will take the quill and carefully handle it and pass it to you as if it's a dangerous weapon.
It's quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
just,
it
just
casually.
pass it to me and I'll put it away. Thanks.
It's covered in Drizzle saliva.
Yep.
is this where you find out this quill is called the quill of the critic?
The critic.
It's for dealing with critics. You stab them in the forehead.
Drizzle calls it his bookmark. That marks his book well.
What, the blood?
No, the quill.
Oh, the quill. Okay. So if that's your bookmark, what do you use for writing?
Bookmark. Bookmark write well.
Right, so use both.
Writes on all
Okay,
things.
Right.
Marks the book.
Okay, cool.
Marks bad people too.
Right. So it is a weapon, basically. Apparently.
Very finesse weapon. Here you go. You can have it back, Drizzle.
And he puts it in his book and then he starts writing. He's quite happy.
So, if you guys sit down, everything is like toddler size for me, right? Can I ring the bell?
Yep. In comes a small servant. Looks about 3 foot tall.
Do you have
How may I
anything?
help you, miss?
Do you have anything bigger?
Yes, I do. Comes back with a taller person.
Okay.
And he looks at you confused. You wanted someone taller?
I was hoping for a bigger bed, please.
Oh, bigger bed. Okay.
Bigger bed, yes.
He looks less offended.
Jeez.
People take things so literally.
So no.
That's true.
You're almost as bad as Drazzle.
She didn't say what she, said, do you have anything bigger? It's like, bigger.
Servants can be very literal. Be careful about that.
Okay. Very duly noted.
And you hear laughter coming from outside the room.
Whose laughter?
That's Don Diego's.
Probably.
John Diego's and the tall guy who's just had it explained.
Yes. You can hear the obnoxious dragging of something wood across marble.
Would you like help? I can carry that for you.
And then there's more laughter coming from Don Diego.
I don't know much about these customs, but I think if you carry a servant's stuff for them, it's insulting to the servant?
Is it? What if I carry it and the servant, so the servant is still kind of carrying
I
bread?
don't know. Llewell.
No, let the servant do their thing.
Okay.
But it
You are-
technically
you are-
works.
You are here as a guest. If you act as a servant, you'll be saying, "I wish to be a servant." Not the best idea.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And you can see there's about 4 or 5 different elves just pushing the bed into the room, the single bed. Single bed is huge in comparison to all their other furniture.
It's good to know that you just have
But
these.
you think your feet will still hang over the end.
Okay, probably. I'm just not going to
Yeah.
ask.
You could
Yes,
stack 2 of the smaller beds on top of each
Like
other.
a footrest.
Yeah.
I'm just going to thank them.
To the servants carrying this thing, it looks like the size of bigger than a dining table.
Well, it's taller than they are.
Yeah. Actually, I can just see like 6 of them standing under it, holding it, carrying it like this.
Well, they tried, it didn't work, it was too heavy.
Oh, we should have got some more. But
And once they finish and sigh and walk out thinking they've done their job, Drizzle just walks over, picks it up, and puts it in the room for you.
Huh?
I'm going to thank the servants and Drizzle.
Well, they got it into the
Oh.
area, but they were too tired to push it into the room.
True.
Oh, so Drazzle grew. Okay, cool. Wait, so Drazzle's allowed to pick stuff up?
He doesn't know.
Basil can do what he needs.
Right. Okay. So Drazzle has his own cultural thing here.
He's got his own cultural thing everywhere, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Wait, so Don Diego's just chilling outside the room.
Yep.
Yes.
He doesn't go to his
Actually-
own thing?
This is his own thing at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Might
Well-
be bored.
Yeah.
Well, I might ask him to train spar with me until the end of the night.
Sure.
Non-lethal.
What, Quill versus Rapier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, you could get him to teach you how to use a rapier.
He takes you down to one of his training rooms. It basically looks like a big sand gladiatorial pit with
Excellent.
viewing stands around
Cool.
and weapon racks all around the room.
Nice.
Very cool.
Most of the weapons look functional. Some of them look like they're training weapons. He pulls out a pair of training weapons for you.
Awesome.
Says, do you prefer 1 or 2 weapons?
One weapon, two-handed.
Well, rapiers don't work that way, he says.
This is why I've come to a master.
Yes, which is why if you want your hands around, both hands around a weapon, you will be doing 2 weapon style.
True.
And it is possible to fight with 2 rapiers, he says.
Let's do 2 weapons.
Um,
Give it a go.
There's another thought you could go with as well. Is the heaviest a one-handed weapon, and have the other hand ready to grab and grapple. Is another valid technique.
It is, but it depends on the person.
And you also want to have unarmed combat training as a technique as well.
And he starts pointing out the basics of rapier fighting. Or
And stance and
one
stuff.
or two hands.
She's going to be very diligent and listen very studiously.
It seems she's quite practiced at training. Okay, so while that's happening, people are in the rooms. Is anyone going to have a look around the rooms?
Definitely.
Benedict is certainly investigating the quarters that have been provided.
Yeah.
Okay, give me an investigation roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Xander will look around as well.
Yeah, definitely.
22.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeremy, you come across what appears to be an old family painting of the previous ruler of the elves, an old king, Carlina's father.
Mm.
And apparently, standing in the background is the older version of Drezel.
Yeah. Is in the brass one.
Not the brass one, the blue.
Blue.
Oh, sorry, that's older in his time, no, not older.
Topaz.
Yeah. The gem dragon.
Yep.
Yes, well, okay. Benedict will point out the further incongruity with Dressel, but let's face it, it's probably some other Dragonborn. It's not like you can really tell them apart.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we know his face. As long as it's accurately done, we'll recognise him.
But yeah, okay. Benedict is more mainly looking around. Okay, I mean, have we been offered separate rooms? Is it all one suite, or is it?
It is one suite which has probably about 8 to 9 rooms off. One presidential room, and the others more the support staff down to the servant size.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Okay.
Because you never want your support staff too far away.
Yes.
And so Llewellyn's been given the all he assigned to the big presidential room, which
Yep.
the tiny little bed in there is enough for the equivalent of a swimming pool in there as well.
Cool. Well, yes, got to have a room that actually makes sense for the rank involved.
You mean the size?
Even if mine is pseudo rank at the moment.
Well, you are the honoured guest.
Benedict is happy to claim a smaller room or smaller space, and you'll basically lay a blanket out on the floor beside the bed.
And the blanket is about 3 to 4 times the length of the bed.
Where's Jazzle staying currently?
Dressel's curled up asleep on one of the couches.
Oh, okay.
You sort of see his head's on one end of the floor and his feet are on the other end of the floor, and he's sort of curled over the couch.
He's curled over the couch.
It's a short couch.
Oh, okay, alright.
He is a tall person.
Okay. I'm just
You
gonna...
say 6 foot and 7 foot?
About 7 foot at the moment.
7 foot.
I'll just go and, I guess, lean up against Jazzle and go to sleep.
He'd probably actually be more comfortable if you just lay on a carpet, but he's decided a couch is the way to go.
Probably.
And so what time is it at the moment?
Okay, it is currently probably about 3 to 4 in the afternoon.
Oh,
You've had a long
right.
day.
I thought it was evening. My bad.
So,
No.
And you've got quite a few hours of sword practice ahead of you.
Yeah, I'll train until the evening and go crash into my bed because it's been a long, long, hard day.
You've been in the air for about 3 weeks.
Yep. She just keep going.
This dragon flight doesn't always go fast.
Nope.
Okay, so, which is also why they're a bit annoyed with their owner. So, as you rest up, a flotilla of different foods are brought in by something you can't see and just put on little tables around the room. It's almost like the food is floating in on its own right.
Yes.
okay, certainly the reason I talked about time was that if the once people have at least drop gear, potentially drop gear or whatever, whether or not we were planning any further activities this afternoon in the town.
I've got to just head off because I just got my parents arriving.
All good.
But yeah.
Xander will keep himself busy elsewhere while they're currently doing stuff.
Yeah.
And get us places we need it.
One of the things, or some of the things that Penalty is thinking about is that we, if we've got nothing better to do, the opportunity to purchase the portal, so therefore we can go back to the room and collect the books as a source of study of what this elf was doing and into.
Yeah.
Also, it'd be interesting to note whether or not the wards on the library books, whether they extend beyond the walls of the library.
Yes.
So, in the sense that whether or not if they're brought out within Galantry, they'd come through, or whether in fact the presumably wards around this building might
protect it.
Protect against that sort of stuff. Yes.
Well, each wizard has their own wards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anything outside the library is likely to not interact with the library. Possibly.
Well, but again, Penalty's not certain, but in questioning, like our resident wizard and or diplomatic wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, your resident wizard thinks that as long as you're inside a protected space, the ward shouldn't trigger.
Yeah,
exactly. Anyway, I'm gonna head off, but I'll talk to you all in a fortnight.
See you later, Ethan.
See ya.
Thanks.
Alternately, whether or not it's worth actually visiting the canal location where the body of the elf was found.
Yeah. Now, what were you thinking of for getting the books out? Getting a bag of holding or something?
Well, again, I would expect that if the books were apparently protected by being in some sort of non-dimensional or extra-dimensional space of some sort, are they available?
Plus layered illusions.
That would stop them being seen when you're in the room.
Oh yeah.
But presumably it's the fact that the fact that they were officially not in the room and therefore not in the library is why they didn't set the alarms off.
Yes, but the basic thing there is you want an extra dimensional space to basically protect the books from the alarms. A bag of holding is your basic way.
I would think that's the ideal sort of thing we're looking for.
Yep.
So,
and that comes down to as well which item you get, because there's a cheaper version of the bag of holding which I need to find. It's the bells and pouches. I think those pouches are big enough to take a book each. Depends how big the books are.
Pretty certain they're more than big enough to make a book each, but although admittedly I'm thinking of an old version of bolted pouches.
There's been a few.
Well, I'm just suggesting that we've got the afternoon. I'm sure there's some magical supply stores that would sell such items of some sort or another.
Well, it's Galantry. There are many places that sell it.
Exactly.
And there is one place everyone goes to find a bargain.
Yep. So we'll go there first, and we'll go shopping. See what we can find.
I'll be outside.
Toil does not want to go back in there again.
Not right now. The experience last time was enough for a long time.
What, did they try and sell you?
Just ask for upper management, you'll find
I
out.
was going to say, I would believe, as a player, I'm expecting that the place everyone goes to for a bargain is the same place you went to in Garrigan.
Exactly the same place. Yeah.
Okay, so when you start to head out, Don Diego says, "Oh, your friends seem to be leaving. Do you wish to accompany them?" in the middle of your training.
No, I'll keep doing the training, probably.
Sure, they seem to be heading to some sort of magic shop. It might be your only chance.
Probably worth
Magic
doing.
isn't much of my forte, but I guess I should go.
Many bargains can be found in a place like this.
We will continue this later.
We can continue this later.
But if we
Excellent.
manage to find a, say, flaming two-handed sword,
That would be
you'd
good.
be into that. Yeah.
Keep saying the axe.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
She's barbarian. She can use any weapon.
So, he decides to be your personal guide to the city.
Ah.
And leads you...
I think you have a fan.
Well, he seems to like you as well so far. He says you haven't upset his sister too much yet.
Yes.
Yes.
Too much as well.
Yes.
Well, you did bring Drazzle back.
Well, no. I came here.
Oh, you
and
said you did not
decided
care
to
too
come
much.
with me, but yes.
Okay, you were here when Drazzle came. It's always
yeah.
a disturbing thing when Drazzle shows up.
That's very true.
That's harsh. I like Drazzle.
Yes, but
Well-
bad things always happen around him.
Oh,
Drazzle just whines, what things? And he just jumps.
What we've found is bad things happen when we're around, and Drazzle happens to also be there. Bad things happen to us when he's not there. So I think it's more he's drawn to where bad things are happening.
So you're the cause of the bad things?
I wouldn't say that we're the cause. We just get involved a lot.
Let's be honest. Chronicling the bad things is more fun than chronicling the good things.
He does pull out an old book. He says, Drazzle did give my father this book.
What's that?
It is the book one of your...
Oh, that one.
It looks very old and tattered.
Your
I'm
father's
presuming-
read that?
Yeah.
I'm presuming
Oh,
your father
okay.
had that for some time.
He gave it to him in his youth.
I didn't realise dragons were interested in that sort of material.
Well, apparently he said that he'll grow into it or something like that.
Uh-huh. I'm slightly concerned, but pleased. Does he want it signed?
Why would he get it signed? He says, looking at you.
But I... Don't worry about it.
Books about him.
Title has misunderstood.
Yeah.
So, okay, he's one of the few people you've met who doesn't make the association between you and the book.
Yep.
Yes.
He just looks confused and goes, I don't know, Janazi, and continues on. Monk's wanting to sign everything. Okay, so you get a very nice, lavish, overly pretentious boat.
Yeah.
As if the dragon wasn't.
I'll
Sorry.
be very, very interested in this boat, I reckon.
Well, it has no oars, has no staff. He just gets on there and taps it 3 times, and it starts to head off.
How do you make it do
Oh.
that?
Magic, of course. Magic is useful.
Magic is glantry, glantry is magic.
She's just like amazed, and also at the same time like very like that's not how you do a boat. She's like
It's like he says,
conflicted. Yeah,
I have no need to enslave my workers to do stuff.
you don't do it because you're enslaved. You do it because you want to. Because you want to feel the.
Yeah, but if
pull,
if
push.
something else can do it instead,
Why do you fight?
because I can.
Or not because you want to.
I also like doing it,
It's just.
but I don't like
that's
doing oars.
Same for the boat. So if someone likes doing oars.
Oars is rather boring work. It's rather menial.
Oars is necessary.
It's repetitive tasks that have no, actual use except for getting from A to B.
Have you ever been out on the open ocean?
No, that's just strange. Too much water. Goes up and down. It doesn't stay where it's supposed to.
Not everything has to say what it's supposed to.
He likes things nice and ordered.
Each to their own.
That's why he dislikes Drazzle so much. He doesn't follow any patterns. And he keeps changing. He just looks at him and sighs.
Well, each fight's a different pattern.
Yes, each time I find him, he's different.
He tends to do that. I've only known him for less than a day.
Yes, don't worry, sis. You've got much to learn. Especially when he starts talking about all the times you've done stuff with him and you haven't done it yet.
I look forward to it. I hope they're glorious stories.
I'm sure they will do.
Yeah.
Usually they're both.
And they always make you look bad.
Oh. That's not how I want to go down in history.
Yes, it's the history that's accurate, not the history that's good.
It's not the history I like. It's not very flattering.
Stories he told me of my youth were not very flattering.
Yeah.
Guess I have is for the best of us.
Yet he was extremely accurate about it at the same time. It was even more disturbing.
It would be.
Yes, and you managed to reach the dock for the magic shop. And he gestures you all off. He says the boat will come back when needed.
Thank you.
I'm going to shake my head slightly.
As he just sits down on the boat, he says, "I'm not needed in there. I don't like the place that much."
Mm-hmm.
Any reason?
Yes, many, he says.
Okay, duly noted. Just going to walk it.
Okay, walking into the place, you feel basically your hair stand up as you go through the doors.
Jeez.
Is
That normal? I haven't felt that yet.
Depends on the wards, I think.
The detection and protective magic in a magic shop, particularly this one, is going to be immense.
Okay, you don't. You sort of have gone from the sort of hot sort of weather you were feeling in Galantry to just no real temperature at all. It's not hot. It's not cold.
Yeah.
It's just just right.
I prefer this.
You can see there are shells everywhere. There is a couple of flying creatures flying around talking at people. There is a vague shadow floating overhead, and there is a little gnome coming towards you with a very pointed beard. And it says, "Hi, I'm your designated server for today. How may I serve you?"
Do you have any great axes?
I have many axes that are great. What sort of greatness are you looking for?
Show me.
Two-handed weapon great axes.
Two-handed weapon great axes, yes.
But I've got some axes that were held by great people. I've got axes that have done great deeds. I've got axes that have...
An axe that is kind of like this one.
He looks at it and goes, "Yeah, but it looks so pedestrian." I could get you something like that, but what does it do? It just hits people?
Yes, but does it hit people with magical abilities?
But that doesn't look like it does magical abilities. Why would you want me to get something so mundane as that? He says.
No, just this style of axe.
Oh, I misinterpret. I thought you said one of those axes. It's like, but you've already got one. You want two? Do you dual wield big axes?
One day I hope to.
That would be impressive to see.
Yeah.
Or two great swords. Yeah.
That'd be good as well. Like
So
both.
he turns around to Luell and says, "Do you also request axe of unusual size?"
No, not for me. I already have the weapons that I can really use.
You sure? There are many things that you can use weapons for. I've got one that I use as a doorstop.
I've got a pair of boots I use for a doorstop.
That would work just as well, except no one really wants to touch my sword.
Why not?
Because it's my sword.
Well, yeah, fair enough. If somebody else's weapon, it's a bit rude.
It also tells them off.
You have a talking sword.
Of course I do. Wouldn't you have a talking sword?
I would love a talking sword. Except
I can get you
well,
one if you'd like one.
It's fine. I've got a really nice magical sword, and I don't need a second. I'm not really much of a sword wielder myself, anyway.
So I can replace it. I can get you a talking sword instead.
Yeah, this one has special significance.
I can get it to sing for you. A singing sword. Or a cursing sword. Would you like one that actually curses other people in their native language using the most derogative terms possible?
That's not actually all that fun unless I understand it all.
It will explain it to you in depth.
That it's starting to get tempting.
It was created by a halfling.
Of course. Sounds like an absolutely ideal thing for someone like themselves to make. However, I have one, so not a sword, please, not for me.
Okay, then what
However,
else would you like?
What we're after at the moment, the first thing we're after at the moment is a bag of holding, if you happen to have one.
What would you like to hold with it? A house, a tree, a submersible, a planet, a...
Something rather smaller
A marble?
in the capacity
An ant?
range.
animals? Your former dead lover?
We are adventurers. Loot.
So your current dead lover?
No. I don't have a dead lover. And
That can be
particularly,
arranged.
Yeah.
Particularly, I don't have one here.
That could also be arranged for a price.
No, no thanks.
I aim to please, he says, looking rather hopeful.
You're doing a very, very good job of it.
Oh, that's so good. So you want a bag to stick things in. Do you want anything particular about this bag besides holding stuff? I have many bags available.
What did you have?
Says, well, don't look at the labels. The labels were all crap. They were written by some idiot who doesn't understand magic.
I see.
Don't worry, I'm related to him, so I'm really sad about that too. He was cursed. That's what we tell the family.
Yes. Condolences to your family.
Yeah, I believe half of them are cursed too. Okay.
Why?
Well, we're gnomes. We let those things happen, especially around dwarves.
Well,
Never
yeah,
trust a dwarf.
You can trust a dwarf to not be trustworthy, or you can trust a dwarf to be trustworthy.
You can trust dwarves to screw you over.
I see.
So I have what I call bags of furry animals, because they're little furry things you toss out and they create animals.
Yeah, I've heard of those. They sound rather amusing.
Well, I have 3 varieties that I made from real halfling skin.
Halfling skin.
Yes, apparently they wandered
Oh.
into the Atruaghin clans and made someone very unhappy, so he turned them into bags.
I see.
Straight from the Tiger clan. You've heard of them, haven't you?
Sounds
That-
reasonable.
Sounds about right for the Tiger Clan.
It's quite intricate too. Only 400 gold each.
Not doesn't. It sounds amusing, but it doesn't quite meet our requirements right at the moment.
Well, I do also
So
have...
bags for holding things rather than getting things out of.
Well, he says, thinking, I do have a few other things that, sort of management don't really like us to discuss because, well, it can get you into a bit of trouble in this place. Extra-dimensional holding places are problematic in this city. They tend to set off a lot of wards.
Oh, there are wards that actually pick them up.
Yes, because you're basically bringing something that can connect your item to another location. And given the right sort of magic, it can actually be used to infiltrate places.
That would be so unethical.
It is, that's why we sell them. So,
I was going to say, says the storeman at the store that infiltrates everywhere, all the time, everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. So what we would need is one that doesn't do that.
well, they're harder to come by because normally we charge about 400 for them because they are quite good to store all the things you don't want people to know about in. Because unless you know what's in there, you can't find it. Unless, of course,
Yeah.
you turn it inside out, in which case everything's revealed.
Yes.
Including the things we left in there that I forgot to tell you about.
Which is why you turn those things out inside out before you do anything with them.
Yeah, you have those problems.
Yeah. The handy haversack I've heard of, is that any different? Would that be of use?
Oh, that one can
I know
be problematic. It is normally 12,000 gold. That's our general going price for those, and they are done by halflings, so they're a lot harder to come by.
Yeah.
We do have one in stock, but unfortunately,
It's-
you might be picked on a little bit around here walking around with one. Because
Yeah,
it is
definitely.
more than one extra-dimensional space at the same time.
Yes.
And if you
So-
know your magic, you can use it as a portal to wherever you go.
So if we were to want to, say, annoy someone local without setting off alarms, Do you have something that would be useful for that?
Well, I do have this older bag of holding going for about 700 gold. It was owned by a thief of some fame, at least until he was hung. Apparently, he got a few pretenses about how good he was and blabbed to the wrong person.
Oh. Well, that's the thing. If you're going to be good at something like that, you don't tell people about it.
Well, he was trying to get more work. He was... Word of
Oh, he's
mouth was his
pushy.
reputation.
Right.
And unfortunately, the person he was blabbing to was one of the people he'd stolen from.
Well, that is one of the little tiny problems.
And a rapier through the heart generally stops someone rather quickly.
Yeah, it would. So this is a bag that is useful for not setting alarms off.
Yeah, this one hasn't set any wards off that I know of, though if you use it in this shop, management has a right to execute you on the spot.
So we wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's just mentioning that up front.
Yeah.
You will have eyes watching you at all times once you buy this item from in this shop.
Considering we could use it to all nick some stuff from the shop and leave with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how about we do it this way? We'll buy that, but we're not going to actually take it until we... Well, actually, no, it doesn't really matter, does it? I was about to say we'll buy that last. But if you put it with sort of, here is the things list of things that we want to get.
Well, I can
and
wrap
we'll
it up
just
with
get
all
all
your
one.
stuff and give you a package to take with you on your exit.
Yes.
I can even put a nice little bow on it too. Well, you've got a water genasi with you. I can make it blue.
Well, my hair's blue. My clothing's blue. Make it blue, please.
Okay, it shall be blue.
The service in this shop is impeccable.
I love it.
So,
So
Of
let's
the-
go and have a look at some axes.
so of the
Because,
axes we have here,
and armor. And armor as well.
we have some axes that you'd probably find interesting in the sense of they glow. They're magical. They still hit things with magic because the weapon is magic. Doesn't really help you hitting things. Doesn't really do any more damage, but it glows.
Glowing's cool.
It's got
And
stars and moons on it. Must be magical.
Yeah.
those axes go for about 50 gold.
They just glow a bit. Now, if you've got the actual magic axes,
So that is a magic axe. That is a magic axe. It's called the Moon Touched Axe.
yes, which glows in the dark.
Yep.
Um,
Not during the day because it's not useful during the day.
That's right.
Oh, so you can't use it during the day at all.
Well, you can use it,
No,
but
the glow doesn't-
you don't notice the glow during the day because you've got daylight.
It works
Yeah.
equally effective as an axe, both at night and day.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just got a glow that helps you see in the dark.
Mm.
However, if you had, say, a flame tongue, that would be amusing. Although it says sword, doesn't matter. Get a great sword.
I was going to say, considering the fact that you know that axes come in flame tongues, because
Well,
Basil's got one.
oh, that's true.
Though I do have something
Or
here
he's
that
got a
your
band of frost tongue.
barbarian
Yeah.
friend would probably like. We have a axe of vengeance.
What does that do?
Helps you squish things that you don't like.
How much is that?
That one is 400 gold for that one. And for you, it basically you don't have to worry about it being problematic for you.
What was that supposed to
I
mean?
was
Hold
going
on,
to say
hold
that, yeah. Penadier might have heard the thing and, nah, he rolled badly, so he's not going to give any warning.
Can I ask him what he means by that?
Or if someone else were to use it, they might go mad while they attack and just try to kill everything inside. But that's part of your culture, so it doesn't bother you.
Oh, berserking.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, easy.
Other people don't get a choice, you get to choose.
because
I'll take it.
Okay, so it is Weapon of Vengeance. You'll find that on my site. So for anyone but a Haldanic human, it's considered cursed.
Oh, sweet. I'm just going to write that down. I'm just on 8%.
Which is what Penadier was going to mention to you if you hadn't actually rolled well enough on his roll.
I'll actually send you a link to it.
Oh, thank you.
Didn't we have a run-in with the previous one?
You did. But it wasn't welded by someone like this.
Mm.
Thank you for that.
All good. And
And that's 400
it is 400
out
gold.
of the 1,000 that I've got on me.
Yep.
Yeah.
All uncommon
So-
items are roughly about 400.
Okay.
Unless they're expendable, in which case they're about 200.
Yeah, they're a lot cheaper if it's a one shot. So that's a berserker weapon.
Yep.
Yeah. It's actually there.
It's the uncommon weapon of vengeance.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just it's some kind of a magical item, weapon of vengeance. It's not actually an axe or something like that, it's a weapon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I've done is taken off the weapon type and applied a general version for most weapons.
Yeah.
So yes, he has that if that's of interest to you.
Mhm.
He also has under his weapons.
Ah, that one.
He does have the. He does have two sun blades in stock. One with blade and one without blade.
What's the
But-
sunblade?
It's a blade that lights up with the flame of the sun, and slices through most things.
And if it hasn't got a blade, that means it's a lightsaber.
Very much so.
Oh, that's just so tempting. Even though I've already got a full sword.
And they cost about 12,000 each.
What about hammers?
That is a rare item.
Hammers are rare?
Oh no, you can get hammers. So you want a hammer? Okay, he has a look around and digs through his pile of stuff. He says, "I do have a black flame hammer made by halflings.
Black flame.
Yeah.
How's a flame black?
That's the halflings. They make up the weird crap.
Hmm.
Basically, apparently, it can restore things that normally get burnt in the flame. So you hit things and make them
Oh.
feel better. I have no idea how that really works. You have to ask the halflings. They're weird people.
So you can heal burns that way,
Oh.
right?
Oh, no, I think Drazzle would like that. Feel better, feel better, feel better.
I'm sure he'd love to hit you with hammering things, but we don't let him in the shop anymore.
What do you
For
mean
obvious
let
reasons.
him? He can just walk in, can't he?
No, he's banned.
So you physically found a way to stop him from
Yes.
entering somewhere. How did you do that?
Lots of badging.
I'm just going to point up.
What's up?
There's a
Look up.
beholder above you, staring down at you.
Oh, the beholder stops him.
Upper management, he says.
That's upper management. Why have I not looked up this entire time?
Yeah, that's the source of the many eyes if you buy certain things.
Oh,
They're all the
So-
same critter.
so beholders can stop Drazzle. It's a good scale to know.
Beholder doesn't stop Drazzle.
Beholder just.
We had to appeal to his gods and ask him not to enter anymore.
Oh, right.
Apparently, they're the only ones who can reason with him.
Right.
And then we have to pay them off for him not to come in.
You're paying gods a protection racket.
So yes, you don't want to know the interest on that.
No. Or what the actual currency is being
I
used.
think I'll just stick with the axe for now. What are these flying creatures around?
Oh, they're some of them are gremlins, some of them are gargoyles, some of them are
Yeah.
pixies, some of them are. I have no idea what that was. He says that something just flies
Yeah.
past. They can be
Yeah.
anything depending on who the boss hires.
Sure.
Yeah, that thing of vengeance is going to be really, really useful for you.
You never want to meet the boss.
Stupid damage.
If you do not stand underneath him.
He's not the boss. This is upper management.
Oh, okay, I don't know then.
Okay.
Just don't stand underneath upper management.
Are you not going to buy anything?
Ploosh on title.
Crap. Well, at least I have clothes of mending.
Upper management drooled on him.
Makes sense.
It's acid.
Would you like me to hit you with a hammer to make you feel better?
No, I'm going to go outside and wash this off.
Okay.
I thought you weren't coming in, so that was why I was surprised.
I decided
Yeah.
to make sure that the upper management didn't drool on.
Would you like us to pick anything up for you?
No, thank you. I've had enough time in here, I think. I'm good.
He says, I also have hammers of terror, so you hit someone and they're afraid of you.
No. Does that have any caveats?
probably,
It
but
doesn't do any extra damage. Go with the weapon of vengeance. That does. You're going to splat things with that one.
Yeah, I've already bought the Weapon of Vengeance.
Yeah. Okay.
Get a backup weapon.
Yeah. Get a luck blade.
okay. He says most of the other weapons we have available fit in the 12,000 gold range and higher.
Oh.
So he says, I can walk in and pull out some of the 20,000, 200,000 gold items if that's what you're after.
Yeah. No.
Just for a look, not
Okay.
to buy.
Yeah, well, that would be cool, actually, to see what you've got to drool over for later.
Yes, one day.
Don't ask for drool.
Well, I do have
No,
the
that's not hospital. Like,
enhanced hand axe of returning. No matter how far you throw it, it'll always come back to you.
Ooh.
And it's guaranteed to slice whatever you hit quite nastily.
Oh. She's in awe.
that would give you a ranged weapon without using a bow.
And we do occasionally have some swords that are named. At the moment we have the sword backtalker, which really is going at a bargain at the moment. We normally sell such swords for 200,000. This one's going for 50, because we just don't want to hear it anymore.
50 gold or 50,000?
Are you offering?
No.
Okay.
Backtalker.
Yes.
If he offered to buy
So
it,
it talks back to you. But what if you don't talk to your sword?
If you don't talk to your sword, you're likely to get stabbed by the sword next time you try to use it.
Oh, so you have to talk to it.
Yes.
And then how does it respond? Rudely?
Very derogatively.
Right.
No matter how much anyone else can put you down, that sword is very good at it. It has been spent more than a century putting people down.
Right.
Right.
And it's only been used, it's been around for many thousands of years, but only a century of use.
Does it do more
because you would
damage?
need to be either ridiculously self-contained,
Quite damaging, yes, especially to your psyche.
To
Yeah.
your psyche,
or
yeah.
already ridiculously depressed.
So, 99% of wielders have stabbed themselves with the sword. Just so the sword will shut up.
That's pretty bad.
Only one wielder has managed to not kill themselves with the sword.
And then they sold it to you.
No, someone else killed them while they were sleeping. They had earplugs in.
Interesting.
Oh.
The sword doesn't shut up.
Interesting.
Very easy to sneak up on someone with earplugs or while the sword's talking.
Very interesting. Yeah.
See, some talking swords are good, some are bad. That one's one of the ones that I use as a doorstop. That's why no one touches that sword. Now you know.
Yes.
Wouldn't that insult customers on the way in?
It's in my bedroom.
Oh, okay.
What other Norse things do you have
Well,
held down?
Armor.
Just in general.
in general, we have a few things, but at the moment, I would probably say that our most sought after item are the like the Berserker axe, which we do sell for quite a lot. The boots of the Winterland, which great for traveling up the mountains with.
Yeah. Well, actually, you could have the pair that I've got because I may not end up using them.
So most so basically people wear these furry boots because it makes them walk on ice without any problems.
Oh.
Walking, I don't really understand why they walk on ice to begin with. It's just a strange custom that these humans do. And they seem to think it's a wrong thing to do wearing these boots. Why you go to the ice in the first place, I have no idea.
There's fish under the ice. Have you ever been fishing?
Do you have
I
any
buy
good
my
hide
fish, I
armor?
don't actually go and get it myself.
You're missing out on some of life's greatest things.
Yeah. Do you have any good hide armor for her or something similar?
Armor that you can hide in or armor that
No,
covers
no.
you?
The sort of armor that Olga's going to want to wear.
Well, he looks her up and down and goes, we might have some armor that fit you. So I have this armor that's very impressive for people. It gives off a reek of ash and odor, so people will stay away from you. And sometimes it can give off a billowing cloud to make it harder to see. But normally only does that for Genasi, so...
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, I have... Now, you wouldn't really be interested in the tailored suit or the shining suit. That doesn't really suit Norse too well. Though we do have a kobold that we heard has the shining armor from the Northlands, and it's... Apparently he became a god. So, you know, kobolds and gods, who really knows? They called him the Shining One because of his armor.
Can't say I've ever heard of him. Oh, the shiny one.
Yeah. You've heard of the Shining One.
Right.
He's the famous kobold who became a god.
I've heard of the shining one. Ah, I know him.
He's also something bitter towards gnomes because he did so by destroying a gnome shitty.
Right, okay.
Okay. I do have Mariner's armor, which is good for the water. And I do have some armor made out of adamantine, but it's not that magical. Just doesn't have the same sort of presence, and it's not really hide. And I do have some enhanced
at least a
armor.
medium armor.
I do have some enhanced armor. I can get you some hide that has, runes scrawled all over it that says I'm protected. But of course I'm not really sure it does much because I haven't tried it. I don't like armor that much myself.
What's the Marina's armor?
Okay, so the Marina's armor. Let me see if I can see what I've got done for that.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's one of the ones I haven't actually put up there fully yet. I just haven't opened it for now.
Yeah, trust me, it's part of the fun of the game.
Yeah.
We've had many a session in this shop, I tell you. It's good fun.
And they've never dealt with the same person twice.
Yeah. For your armor, hide is actually the lightest stuff you unit in your armor weight range.
I'm unarmored right now and my armor class is 15.
Okay,
Right.
so
You can get up to half plate, which would be of use.
So Marina's armor, while wearing this armor, you have a swimming speed equal to your walking speed.
Okay.
And whenever you start to turn underwater with 0 hit points, the armor causes you to rise to the surface.
It doesn't help you breathe underwater.
It does not.
Well, it helps you get above water so you can keep breathing.
Well, yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
What's the AC on that one?
Okay, what is hide?
Hide. Oh, sorry. The Submariner's armor, is that hide or is it metal?
It can be anything. Yeah, it could be light, medium, or heavy. It doesn't actually provide a armor class bonus.
Oh.
It just gives you other enhancements.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's on whatever armor it happens to be.
But this particular armor, they've
That's the
only got
tabletop
one
building.
suit of
Oh, is
Mariner's
it?
armor.
Okay.
It means if
What's
we
the
do
other?
combat now, it might not finish before we finish for the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how you can time that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So I in fact that presumably he's only got one suit of Mariner's armor.
he does.
What armor is the Mariner's enchantment on? That he happened to have?
Well, this one will
Or
be.
is it what happens to be best as far as Olga's concerned?
It will just happen to be whichever armor you ask for.
Right.
Right.
Timey-wimey, things change as they need to.
Well,
This
he's
is
a
one of
good
those
salesman.
places that you enter and leave, and time doesn't seem to change.
He's a good salesman. He only brings out the suit of armor she'll be interested in.
Right. So. I'm gonna cheat.
What time do the sessions end usually?
Normally finish
Yeah.
by about 10:30.
Okay.
If you click on that pic on the image I just put in there, that's from the player's handbook.
Okay.
So one fact with your armor, of course, also walks your dexterity.
Yeah, Xanathars may have something else. May have more.
Sorry.
I can't remember if Xanathars does.
Okay. So to see it, I pretty much have to pull out what you're seeing.
Because what's Olga's dexterity, Kathy?
+2. She's got 14.
Okay.
So yeah,
So she can take advantage of medium armor.
yeah.
Yep, even a breastplate is probably the best you can get, but that would also increase the cost.
Which is fine. It's only another few hundred.
Yeah. So for the cost of about 800, you can get Mariner's breastplate.
Okay, I'll have to go to the bank because I only have 600 on me, and there's 400 in the bank. But it's not going to be here when you get back, right?
No, it'll still be here when you get back.
I can lend you the cash for it at the moment.
Oh, are you sure?
He's very trustworthy.
You're going to give it back to me in an hour.
Of course.
You save leaving the shop and coming back.
Yeah.
What's fair is fair, and I will never do anything to rob you.
Yes, if she was going to rob you, she'd stab you first.
That's right. Yeah. That's the thing. She wouldn't rob me. She would loot me, and thereby obey the statement she just made.
Yeah. Pillage is completely different to stealing.
Exactly right.
And let's face it, if you actually pillage it rather than stealing it, the chance of retribution from the original owner is much smaller.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's pillage then burn, not burn then pillage.
Yes.
As all Vikings know. Halflings seem to get that confused.
Yes. Right,
You're just scavenging if you burn first.
Yeah, halflings are concerned with pillaging. So Vikings always say to them, pillage then burn. And halfling go, but burning's fun.
You still get to burn, you just pillage first.
That's an ongoing argument.
Yeah, what's the thing? If you pillage, you get to pile all the really flammable stuff up in one place. So when you burn, it's really good.
Yes.
Yes, you got to get past their attention's bad problems.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
Okay, so he does bring you out some armor. It looks quite well made. It has a lot of Norse motifs on there,
Awesome.
and it does honor Thor,
Oh, that's a point.
Ooh,
the
Yes, I know.
god of storms.
yes.
Something I should have looked up before. Midgard. See if there's anything interesting here for you.
There is a lot of stuff there, and I have.
Not a lot of gear. Not in that one anyway.
It's okay. I have those books at the moment, and I have referenced them,
Yeah.
so they'll be amongst the items listed in the magical item page.
In the thingy what's name. Yep.
And what was it again? It was breastplate?
It was a breastplate.
Mariner's breastplate.
Mariner's breastplate.
Yeah, cool. And I owe... Who do I owe?
Me.
Yep.
Plural.
Plural.
Okay.
That's all right. Because it's a very short term thing. Just put down the amount you've spent
Yeah, okay.
as a total.
So it was 800, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. I think
It's
that's all I
not
was...
like a. Yeah. I'm not going to charge you interest. One of my other characters would do. I'm not going to.
Okay, so 3 items bought so far: the Mariner's breastplate, the Rogue's bag of holding, and a Great Axe of Vengeance that will probably have a different name by the time I figure out the rest of it.
I think I'm pretty done, yeah.
Okay, so does anyone else want something while you're here? Considering Tidal came in. The
Yep.
gnome looks at him and
But
says,
then left afterwards.
well, before you're leaving, a little gremlin comes over and says, can I help you?
I'm going to take a step back.
Hello, I've seen you before.
I know. That's why I'm taking a step back.
But you are my friend, aren't you? You bought many stuff from me.
Well, yes, but I don't appreciate being drooled on by upper management.
I can call him over if you like.
No, that's fine.
We can have a discussion with him,
No,
I don't mind.
No, that's good. I'm fine.
He's got this quite intense stare when he looks at you.
He does, yes. It's quite fearful. I think I hear my god calling outside. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do that. We're not even in your realm.
I need to cast water outside.
Right.
Well, go play with your god, and I'm sure your city won't kill you.
If your upper management doesn't first.
Oh no, he likes to eat.
Exactly.
He doesn't like them dead.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna kind of slowly slink out.
Yes. Yes. Portable hold will be out of our price range at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Cool as they are. I will ask a question. What have you got in the way of potions?
Oh, I have many potions, he says. I have potions of growing.
Okay.
You drink it, you get taller for a little while, and then you don't. I have potions of you really don't want to drink this. We call it poison technically, but we can't sell poison here legally because we don't have the licenses. So it's poisons of unusual substance.
It doesn't have a label on the back that says you don't want to drink this, does it?
So it's the potion of non-potability.
Yes,
Right.
and you gift it to a friend you don't like, and they put it with their staff, and then the next thing you know, they have no idea which one it was you gave them because they all look alike.
Yes.
And it's not your problem until it gets gifted back to you, and then you go, "Oh crap! I actually got the same thing back again," and then you give it on to someone else, and you play hot potato to see who's going to drink it.
Yeah. I'm not that kind of warlock.
You sure?
Yes. Somebody else may want
Well,
it. I'm not going to.
I've got one where if you give it to the person, they fall madly in love with the next thing they see.
Oh, those sound fun.
They are.
How much are those?
Those ones, because they're a one-use item, we sell them for 200 gold. And they can get completely infatuated with you. Such that they can't think or eat or even do anything else without you being present.
Oh, not me, but just the next thing they see.
Well, next thing they see, yes,
Yeah.
it can even be a rodent. It's quite funny when they've attached themselves to some little animal that they then love and
That doesn't like them.
oh, there's that too.
Yes. If you want to be nice to people, get 2 of them and give 1 of them each. Make sure you lock them both in the same room first.
Or make them see the same person and then fight over it.
That sounds amusing.
Considering my character on Friday has taken both of those.
Ooh, can I get 2 of those?
Yes, you can get 2 of those. We have them in stock. We sell them by the bucket here.
By the bucket!
Yeah.
Oh god!
He pulls out a bucket full of little vials.
Oh no.
Oh,
So now I'm down to my last 200 gold. So
And here's me
I'll
picturing
stop,
the idea
but-
of a bucket-sized potion.
is that what parties are in Galandri? You just order a bucket of these things.
We do have people who do that. He says to you as you walk out the door.
I can see people doing it. Actually, I can see that being done as a party game. You take an antidote potion after.
The Balkadirs do it on a monthly basis. Night of the full moon, they have drink a potion, have a fun for the night, and then forget about it in the morning.
That makes what to be in Galandri even less.
Do you have potions of healing?
Oh, we do. Some of them do a little bit more than others, depending on how much kick you want.
Okay, so what's a basic type and what's a sort of more advanced one?
Well, the really basic one has... let me see, where is it? It's got a bit of sap from the Elvish Tree of Life in it. So it has a little bit of kick. When we put a little bit more sap in, it gives a bigger kick.
Right. So you got the sort of healing, and then you got a bigger one, and then there's a bigger one again.
Yep. And the greater one generally goes for about 200. Gives you a nice, big kick of life.
Yeah.
Much better than the poison potion, which gives you a kick of something completely different.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at it now. Healing, greater healing, superior healing, and supreme healing.
And if you're an elf, it just connects with everything you want. You get to tune yourself into the tree.
That becomes sort of really tempting to say, how many have you got?
How many would you like? The elves here, the elves sell lots of them because, gives them money to buy other crap.
That's true.
They're quite good on their shiny little baubles.
I'm going to school my face to not respond to that one.
Well, the older the bauble, the better for them. So good when you can travel through time. Yeah, look, this bauble was over 5,000 years old.
You got time shift things.
Yes.
Or do they have time shift things?
No, upper management uses them all the time. They take things to the past, leave it there, and then pick it up in the future and say, this is 5,000 years old. And magic agrees.
I've heard of that being done.
And it's
Okay,
been
so-
aged correctly. It just was made yesterday.
I did hear about a wizard who was doing that, making whiskey.
Yeah, it
He
works
was-
well.
Yeah, he was getting like 100-gallon kegs of whiskey and go and bury them somewhere for a century. Get them out, bottle it, sell it. This is all stuff, century-old whiskey that was made yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you just put them in. You put them in your tower a few centuries ago, and then
Yeah.
open them up. You put the date on when it's to be opened.
Exactly. Apparently, it works well.
Well, it does.
Okay.
Until someone burns your tower down.
Yes.
Abuse of magic really is a problem in this country.
Yeah. No problems. Potions of greater healing. How much?
For you, I will sell them for 200 each.
Could I have 5, please?
Okay, I'll give you 5 for 900.
Deal.
I like dealing with elves; they are pretty.
I smile nicely at you.
Except for when they do that, he says, looking frowning at you. Too much teeth.
I smile without teething at you.
Yes. He just pokes you in the leg and goes, "Is he okay? He looks a bit constipated." I got Persians for that too. You think he's just
Okay.
having fun at your expense?
Of course he is. How much are the potions of normal healing?
Potions of normal healing. Well, we have them by the bucket as well. Apparently you need them in some of the parties here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised given what I've heard.
And they go for 25 each.
Can I have 10 of them, please?
Sure. Fortunately, I can't really give you a discount on that one too much, so only 240 for that.
Done. Always useful having those. Also potions of resistance and so on, but they're a bit. They might be useful.
But we do have the perfume of bewitching if you really want to just get someone's impression, right off the bat to like you.
I'm usually pretty good at that anyway, but it might have its use.
I'm sure there's some lad you really like to turn heads your way.
Does it smell like old dogs and soap?
Lads, probably.
And the best thing about it is they have no idea you've bewitched them. Just perfect for someone in your line of work, he says, giving you a wink.
It would have its uses in certain ways. In that way, yes. I won't get one though. Thank you. One thing I do like the idea of.
Yeah.
A pot of awakening. Do you have one?
Oh, we sold a bunch of them to some elf recently.
Of course.
I have no idea who he is. It's just that we're currently sourcing new stock.
Right.
You wouldn't happen to know who it is? We can track him down and buy some off him and sell them to you at just a slight markup.
No. It was just a whim. It wasn't anything particularly important at this point.
Well, we're due to get some more in soon, just that we don't really stock that many of those items because, well, some idiot here keeps putting plants in them because they're a pot, and then the plants get up and walk away on us, and we've got plants to deal with as well as, customers.
Yes.
And they see Pot of Awakening going, "Oh, look, I'll put plants in there." So
No, that's not.
try to explain that to the gremlins. They don't really understand that. And then when you tell them how it works, they then go find plants to pot.
Yes.
Because they think it's funny.
It is.
Not
is?
when they've broken an item that you then have to pay for.
Oh, that's very true.
Yes. A pot of awakening is a one-shot item.
Awakens any plant you put in there.
Yep.
And then you have a talking plant.
And if you're an elf, you can get cool stuff.
Hey, any plant that talks back to you is cool for an elf. Especially
That's
when you
true.
eat plants as your main diet.
Yes.
That's a bit.
Yeah, sorry, I had a look. I had a look at that and went, wouldn't it be amusing to find some plant that I could use as a mount? As in, once awakened, it's fast enough to actually use.
And what do I call him? I call him breakfast.
Oh.
Yes. So
Yes, the
what-
tastiest leaves around.
Oh god, an awakened mint bush.
Golly
Come over
minty.
here. I need. Come over here. We're having lamb. I need to season my lamb.
And then the plant happily comes over. You take some of my leaves.
Yes.
Eat of my flesh.
Yeah. Yes.
My rump is particularly tender this time of year.
Yes, I do like Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yes. Yes. Potion of fire breath. Now that'd be a fun one. But
He says, well, considering you don't have the Dragonborn with you, I can, dig one of those up.
Potion of what?
Is he banned from buying those?
fire
Yes.
breath.
Fire breath. Okay.
He used it in the magic shop.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that would be bad.
Okay.
Yes. Which is why he's banned.
Yes.
I would say it was a lifetime ban, except for him that doesn't really count.
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm actually not going to worry about it. It's not so much of use for me.
Then there is the thing that your water friend would probably like. We do have one decanter of endless water. He could carry his livelihood around with him everywhere.
That would be brilliant.
That is useful.
But for someone
That would
like
be
that who bends
fun.
water and has no water around him, it's just hilarious.
I mean, we wouldn't have to carry 4 flasks on me anymore.
But
No, you would only need that one.
Mm.
and look, I can get it to you for 400 gold, and you can tell him you spent 1,000. He won't know the difference.
You could. If you charged me 1,000 for it, I wouldn't know.
He's still orphan, isn't he?
And you'd still think it was a bargain.
Of course he would. Brilliant.
Well, I don't know, but they say if he's still in orphan phase, I know that's
That's
That's a ladron.
Wednesday's night.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, wrong one.
And he didn't even think to ask, these water types.
Oh, here's something else that would be useful for title: ring of jumping.
What in what? Puddles?
No, it allows, if you're wearing the ring, it allows you to cast a jump spell as a bonus action at will. As a monk, you leap all over the place.
Oh, okay.
It means that you're far more mobile.
Oh yeah, hugely mobile. That's an uncommon, so it's not going to be hugely
It's
expensive.
about
either.
400 for that too. You
Yeah.
can tell him that was 1,000 as well.
I'll
I'm
let you
sure he'll
decide
love
what
it.
you end up getting.
I will actually get both of those.
Okay, he wraps them all up in a bag for you and puts this nice little blue bow on there with these long trailing twirls of ribbon coming off it, making it look like a waterfall coming off the top of the package.
Oh, nice. Cool.
He spends more time doing that than he did talking to you.
Oh god.
And you just wait till it's just right before he brings it over.
Yeah.
Appreciate his.
Looks like a cascade of water as he drags it across.
Appreciate his showmanship. Attention to detail.
Yes.
I am good at my job. Unlike those other idiots in the family.
You appreciate your service.
And he hands you the package.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed to go off with a bang, he says. Just don't open it in the store, or you might be banned too.
Might.
Mate, yes. Depends on who you kill on the way out.
Yeah.
Your plants?
I don't really care about those, he says. I'm sure I'm related somehow. He says as he walks off, saying, family. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, you've now got yourself some nice big purchases.
Yes.
It's still not the end of the day, is it?
It is still not the end of the day.
So at the end of the day.
And when you step out, you see that the sun's at the same point you stepped in at.
Ah, that shot.
And you see Tyler has just stepped out in front of you.
Hello, Tyler.
Hi. How'd it go?
Got some useful things. Let's go and sit somewhere private. We can chat and have a couple.
I'm going to go to the bank to pay back.
Mm-hmm. There is a gnome bank here.
Yeah.
Which is the one that you get your money from.
Cool.
Yeah.
You walk in, You sort of have the feel of the Grindel thing in Harry Potter, with all these gnomes rushing about doing stuff. And they have no problems getting the money for you because, well, they get paid well to look after this stuff.
Cool.
And no one really wants to try to invade a gnome sanctuary to get access to money.
No.
I thank them and then go back and hand it to. Oh, I forget what your character's name is. Sorry.
Luell.
Cool.
Laurel.
Cool. Right, so
You-
now the
you-
money is all fine.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll sit down. We'll get a couple of drinks. Well, a drink each. And
Kennedy will remind you that not all the items should be displayed in a public place.
no. No. Well, yes. If we can find somewhere that has a booth, a mid-range tavern of some kind,
Yep.
or even better, a room.
Well, you do have Carlita's Tower, which is not too far
Yeah.
away.
That's true. We could go back to our
Oh.
own bedrooms and do this.
And you do have, sitting in the gondola, your guide, Don Diego, unless you want to go somewhere else with him.
At this point, no. We'll go back. We'll divvy out the bits and pieces because the stuff we've got will be useful right now. So we'll go and ask Don Diego for. Yes, please. Can we go back to our rooms at least for the moment?
Well, he
We've got
quite happily takes you back to your quarters.
Thank
And he
you.
says he'll be
There's
right
also-
outside if you need him.
There's also possibly whether or not we want to go straight back to the library, or potentially want to try and test the purchase first, in some manner. I would recommend that you
Actually,
look
No, actually,
at
there is
what you've got first.
a way to test it. Get something magical, put it in the bag. Well, actually, we'll turn it inside out and see if there's anything tricky.
Thanks, yeah, first,
First.
yeah.
Okay, you turn it inside out, body parts fall out.
Yeah.
I put them back in.
Okay.
Yeah. The big of halfling that had the skin removed. They had to do something with the body when they made the bag.
Alright, so yes, I'm going to get rid of those later. I check them out, see if there's anything still attached or anything, but
No,
Yeah,
they've
duck.
been basically looted before put in there. You think that was the hiding place for bodies that went missing.
right. Yuck. Anyway, put a magic item in it,
Yep.
hand it to Peridia, and then I'm going to look and see and tell him to put it behind him or something like that. I'm going to look and see if I can find it, because I've got detect magic as vision.
Did you attune to the bag at all?
I have. Well, I'm going to check it now. I haven't attuned to it yet. I will do.
Well, I was going to say,
But I've got to find something else
if Kennedy
to
trying to hide
tune.
on his person, he hasn't attuned it, but did get, where am I? 14, 23 on stealth.
Yeah.
What's hiding you or the bag?
He's hiding the bag.
Yeah, he's hiding the bag. Okay, so I'm presuming I've not attuned it, therefore I will find it.
You do detect the presence of the magic.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. I'm going to have to unattune one of my present items. I'll unattune the longsword at this point. And spend the time attune to the bag.
Okay, it takes about a minute.
Oh. It's set up for this use. Okay. And then do the same.
And you hear a voice in the back of your head going, "Greetings.
Oh dear.
How may I serve you today, sir?"
Conceal what is in this bag and your own presence from me while I
Sure.
hand you to somebody else.
You don't know what to hand because you can't see anything.
Okay, so it hasn't left my hands. But I
You can't
see
feel
it.
anything in your hands at all, and you can feel that you're attuned to it, but
Okay. I look at my own hands with magic. Do I see anything?
nope.
Become visible.
And then you see magic start to outline as it becomes visible.
I am also
Okay.
assuming that Kennedy is not seeing anything
Oh
when
no,
he does this.
you saw the bag because he specifically told it to hide it from him.
Yes.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So I hid it from myself. Okay.
So then, yes, okay, and Kennedy then has the odd look of, with the expression from Cluel that apparently the bag disappeared out of his hand. He's thinking, what the hell happened to it? Cluel's thinking, so Kennedy's thinking, what the?
I look at Parody and the others. I have a sneaky bag that's intelligent and takes to scribe orders.
Probably why
So
it's
say,
cheap.
it's not particularly
It
sneaky.
wasn't cheap.
It wasn't cheap.
Okay.
It's very obvious.
Okay, I think at the bag.
You don't have to
Hide
think at me,
yourself
you can talk to me, it says.
Okay. I know, but I
I mean,
want
it's
to do
rude
it
to
with
think
thinking.
at me.
Yes, I want to do it with just thinking right at the moment. So, from everybody else's point of view, I look at the bag. Okay, bag. Hide yourself from everybody but me.
Okay. And everyone just sees the bag disappear in his hands.
I look at the others. What do you see in my hands at the moment?
Nothing.
Your diplomacy?
Thank you. This bag is very, very capable. I like it. Because I can see my bag, and I just gave it a mental command.
Hmm.
How much can it hold?
I think of the bag. What is your holding capacity, both volume and weight?
Depends on what I feel like it says.
It's a Tuesday, so what is it?
What is it? It says, what's today's date?
I give it the date.
He goes,
Is today one of those days ending in Y? I don't work on those days.
It spits out random items on Wednesday. It's like, nah, I don't feel like carrying too much today.
well, says it depends on how nice you are to me. I like to see new things.
Well, we travel a lot. You're always going to be seeing new things.
Yes, but I'll put new things inside me and I'll be happier.
I will do that thing.
I don't care what the new
Sure.
thing is, I just want new things. I like my shinies.
I will make sure I get some shiny new things for you.
Yeah. I made them put the last guy in me who didn't show me shinies.
Right.
But
So
I'm now
the
yours.
So the body parts in there are your last wielder.
Yes. Don't worry, no foreshadowing there, it says.
I feel like we just bought the endgame villain.
And it says, by the way, you can't unattune me now.
Or I'll eat you too.
Okay, so I need to find. Oh god.
No, I'm not a god, but I'm trying.
No. Yeah. Thank
I
you.
could be your god.
No, I'm thinking of sort of as we're adventuring, I'm picking up sufficient items like this, not being able to attune to anything else.
Oh, that'd be great. The religion of bag.
Well, it's all about how well you carry things.
A soul carrier. That'd be amusing.
I've got a few souls in here too, you want one?
How do you hold a soul? And what
Very
can you-
carefully, so you don't break it.
Yes. And what can you use them for, except of course for sort of dark rituals?
Well, I use it to make myself invisible to others.
So you're soul powered.
Aren't you?
Yes, but mine doesn't get used up.
Yes, it does. You run out of time eventually. I run out of power eventually, so we both use souls to power ourselves.
It's got a point.
Yeah, I use mine, not somebody else's.
Well, it was mine. That's where my intelligence comes from.
Maybe that's why you can't unattune, because when you finally die, it eats your soul.
It's only in the fine print, it says.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, this sort of thing is what wishes are for.
Please regurgitate the fine print.
I'm sorry I ate it.
Yes, he's going to keep to the soul of the agreement, isn't he?
Pretty much. Just, and don't worry, I know all my previous owners.
Did you say previous items or previous owners?
Owners. I'm just wondering why that was presented as a reassurance.
Because I can, tell you what they knew, if you need to know.
Oh, that definitely is useful.
It definitely is, and especially for the next owner too.
Was it before or after the lip spec?
You'll make a great addition.
Yes. Just thinking I should have asked for a magic shield as well. Oh well. Still got to learn how to use the damn thing, so.
Just, oh look, I can actually tell you how to use a shield. I've used shields before. Or at least one of my former owners did. He was this dwarf, and he had this, bald cleft that he didn't really like too much, and too much wax in the ears. But besides that, he was a fairly decent guy.
Yeah, we will have to talk about this. However, please make yourself visible to the others.
Sure. And then you see this bag appear in his hands again.
So I'm assuming all that happened at the speed of thought, effectively.
Yeah.
So
Very much so.
You make the bag appear again, and
I look very worried.
Pennedy's still waiting there with a questioning look on his face. So how much can it carry?
However much it feels like it wants to carry based on how many nice shiny things I've put in it recently.
I might need to start heading off soon.
So, we might wrap it up.
So the bag you thought was a bargain is one you got to bargain with?
At this point, yes.
So it technically is a bargain bag. So we might call it a night there because we've got a few other people needing to head off.
All good.
And we'll pick this up next week after you've had next fortnight when you've had a chance to think how you'd like to deal with your bag.
Kennedy is also interested in examining the Raven as well, just to see whether or not it's just designed to be a decorative piece or if there's anything more to it.
It's an actual live raven.
Oh, a live Raven. Oh,
Yep.
You have an actual raven,
yeah. Okay.
which is probably going to be interested in my raven.
And it is quite a pretty raven. Okay, so we will call it a night there, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, everyone.
All good.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Kat.
You too.
We'll catch you next time.
Definitely. Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a good week. Alright, whatever.
Bye.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Good night, all.
Our time or Drazzle time? There's a
Good
difference.
night.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep. Yes. Yeah.